Is it some devil that crawls inside of you?
I saw him yesterday too.
Yeah, he was over at PM's. He stopped in, and I ran into him and Pete Martinez of all people. So it was like, it's a meeting.
Yeah, they'll never shut up. Those two.
Yeah, I was like, it's a meeting of like, hey, I was like, I'll be the real Peter in this equation. What's up, Smitty? Fuck you very much, and have a nice day. And it was kind of funny because your dad was like, hey, that's something Pete would have done. Yeah, fuck man, it's good to see you, Garrett.
Oh, that's so
nice.
It
was cool. And then Pete Martinez, he can't stand me because once he like let me know his undying love for my Uncle Pete, now I'm just like more Pete than he wants all the time.
Yeah.
He got pissed at me one day and left.
Well, that's fair. That's what happens when you go to a bar when the sun's still up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does. It does. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, that's my new rule is I don't go anywhere that serves liquor if the sun's still up.
I mean, it's probably a good model for me to keep on my days that I work.
Yeah, honestly, I don't fucking follow that rule like to a T. It's just, I just tell myself like, hey, let's not go there yet.
Yeah.
We're started, by the way. You can just let it rip.
I every once in a while I tell myself like, I probably should not be here. And then I'll like even tell myself like, hey, check it out. Tomorrow, you're going to wait like an extra 2 hours than the time that you went yesterday. So instead of being there at 11 o'clock, since the bar doesn't open until 12, go at 1.
Yeah, be like fashionably
baby
early.
Steps here, because you're gonna run into the same people. It's the same fucking guys.
Why don't you pull that mic a little closer, or aim it towards you?
It's like the same fucking guys. I know exactly what you want me to like more.
Yeah. Just have it shot right at your mouth. That's what she said.
Okay.
Wherever you're just find that. Yeah, and then you can tighten it if it'll drop inevitably.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. I don't think if I move it again, it'll get unwedged from this nice little perch.
No, not at all. This thing might though. It might, if you loosen this, it might fall.
Oh, it wants to freewheel this way.
Bitch.
It's good. We're good.
Mine's gonna fall now just because I said that. I jinxed your ass.
See?
Jinxed my ass.
Yeah, it's good.
Anyways, yeah, I saw my dad yesterday. He invited me out to the gun club to go shooting.
In Santa Maria?
No.
Where?
On base.
Oh, wow. They actually have a gun club. Well, I know they have like a small arms like range and stuff, but they have an actual gun club?
Yeah.
That's right.
The Rod and Gun Club.
Wow. So, and you don't have to be
member of the armed forces.
Yeah.
No, not
you
at
just
all.
have to be able to pass a base clearance or.
Yeah, I don't know what the logistics are because he just works on base.
Yeah.
And then I got sponsored to be part of his membership.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
So I just walked up, dude, and it was so funny because the visitor center where you get your base clearance and base pass close at 4. I get off work at 3:30 to 4 every fucking day. So it's been sitting there waiting for me to go accept it and get the card printed out for like 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
So the one fucking day I finally have enough time to go over there.
And they're fucking closed.
No, I'm wearing my stupid camo pants like a faggot, like a fucking stolen valor bitch. And I walk in there, there's a bunch of Cal Portland guys, a bunch of like blue collar guys. Where, I'm Mr. Sparky electrician. So I'm like, oh, what's up, fella? I'm thinking like, here we all are, and walking in and they see my camo pants and they go, ugh, and they like look away and they're like, nope, not one of us. But then I walk up to the counter where all the young ladies are and men in their full camis and everything. And they look at my camis and they go, ugh, not one of us. Out of spec, wrong camo,
wrong pattern.
Yeah, wrong pattern.
There was a couple of fucking
or they're like out of regs. Yeah.
We can see he went to the surplus.
So I just feel like dismissed by them, by the fucking laborer guys, and they're just sitting in the back.
You were an elder goth walking into this building, just completely everybody beaming on you.
Yep, and it felt like an ass hat.
It's all right. I had a great situation with the ID office, and this is like not even a recent one, but it was around
at the base.
Yeah, it was around the time. I think there's an age cutoff where if you're under a certain age, you don't have to actually pass like a security visitor's badge.
Yeah, you can go with someone else.
And my grandma was like a active duty nurse out at the hospital for years. And so, I mean, I grew up in the hospital out there. It wasn't a thing, but I never really knew about security, like
clearances
differences, like the days, like if you were in Alpha or if you were in Charlie, if you were in Bravo. I didn't realize the like parameter that meant.
I'm in like Z.
Yeah. And so like my grandma's like, oh, it's 100% ID check. And, you know, we're going to have to, you know, stop. And, you know, they're asking me how old I am. And I think, you know, she's like, he's 6. And I'm like, no, I'm Grandma Flo. I'm 7. Adamant, like, because
you're that old. She's like, she doesn't know how old I am.
This old lady. Yeah, I got low key upset. I made it a point, like, Grandma Flo, I know you're not this fucking old right now. I'm this age, and she keeps looking over at me, and I'm not looking at her. I'm staring at Soldier Dude, because I'm still infatuated with camouflage and the fact that this guy gets to carry a gun for a living. I'm like, oh, I want to be like you, dude.
Yeah, turns out those gay people got the worst fucking gay.
Yeah, no, they really do. They fucking hate their jobs so bad.
Dude, oh my God.
I've never met somebody that's worked a gate security job that's like, fuck yeah, dude, I loved it.
The lack of security they might have, every time I go up to the gate, I'm like, I could overpower you with one arm. Yeah. They are really setting those diversity quotas standards low.
Some of them. Yes.
But anyways, they didn't let you in or what?
No, because I adamant would not crack. And then I finally made eye contact with my grandma, and they were daggers. Because she finally got the deep breath and went, yeah, he's 7. And they went, all right. And for some fucking reason, there was construction going on at the visitor center that you're talking about right there. So we had to go all the way to Santa Lucia Canyon.
Oh, geez.
And going through that gate. My grandma was pissed because we came from the village to go to the commissary.
Right there.
To like the commissary and the BX. And I think she had promised me Burger King.
Which is right there.
Did not fucking get Burger King after that trip.
I bet.
Yeah. And then I was actually really trained on lying. When my grandma would give me the eyeballs after that, it was almost horrible.
Isn't it weird how you develop those certain reflexes and you're around your parents, grandparents, you realize how slithery they are, and it kind of turns you into like
and my grandma's such this small innocent lady.
That's what you're supposed to think.
And that's the thing. It's like after years, I'm like, you know, she's small, but the innocence thing, I don't know so much.
Yeah, it's not mutually exclusive.
Couple of gypsy tears in your bottle somewhere, you know?
You know, it's so funny you think about that. Like our grandmothers, they may be so innocent and pure and come off that way, but then you think about it and like they've definitely sucked a dick or 12. Like there's no way.
Oh, definitely. There was a situation in 4 months ago or so, I was in my grandma's house for a while. And when I was moving out, she was like, hey, I'm thinking about buying a new bed for that room anyways, when it's a guest room. So take that bed when you go and, you know, hey, happy new room warming because I went to go rent a room.
Nice.
And
not this one, though.
No. And I came back and definitely not this one. Fucker. It would have been kind of tiny, though. Anyways, we're going back to go check mail. And I walk in there, and I'm just kind of scoping it out. And I kind of like look at it. And I do the dude thing. It's a new bed. I'm going to hop on it. I don't care whose bed it is. Like, oh, that fucker's new. It hasn't had a chance to even be scrumped in yet. Like, you know. Hopped on that thing, felt nice and firm. I said, damn, kind of feel a little bit like, I don't know, you could have done this before I moved in and then done it again after I moved. But hey, I'm not begging here. The bed I got's actually pretty stout. But my grandma just turned 81.
Oh, so she could run for president now.
Yeah, she could. Yeah. And honestly, way more savvy than the fuck that we have in office right now. I mean, she could run fucking like
Kamala
laps.
Or the other one?
Both.
The one who can't bike laps?
Both, yeah.
All right, well,
she walks in and she goes, pretty nice, huh? And she goes, I thought about getting a memory foam, but I thought, you know, it's a pretty firm coil spring. And she put both hands on the foot of the bed and she just kind of gave it a little pump. And she went, thought it'd be pretty good for having sex. I am fucking dead,
Dude.
Like, my casket opened up. The floor was my new burial ground, and I just almost trust fell into it and just died right there.
Was she saying that about the new bed or the
the new bed,
not the one she gave,
which
you,
made me start thinking about the bed that she gave away, and I'm like, well, damn, I put a couple of miles on that thing. How many miles did she put on that thing? But then I'm like, she's got a bed in her room. This isn't even her bed. Is this what old folk do when they have guest bedrooms?
Oh yeah, that's the fucking bed.
It's like a multiple scenario thing,
enough.
And the thing is, my grandma's so innocent, but so like, if I ask her a question, she'd probably be honest, and she would probably be able to diffuse this.
Yeah, and
argument.
I think I've kind of noticed that is the older people get, the more comfortable and loose they get, and it's not that they're not as vulgar as us younger people are.
You're just not a baby in their eyes anymore, so it's easier
to just let it slip.
Yeah.
They're also like, I don't know how much longer I got left on this planet.
Sometimes I feel like I do run across some family members that are like that, where they are at that point where they're like, you know what? I have seen enough shit. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. You know what? I was having a conversation with my aunt a couple years ago. So me and my mom and brother and stuff, we moved up to my grandparents' house on 7th Street or in Snob Hill there.
Oh, okay. Like on the actual
like up there,
hillside.
up
Okay.
there. Yeah, not Maryland, but up there, my mom's side.
Yeah, so over kind of like Brian Ham's house, like up there.
Let's not dox them, but yeah. I don't know if sure, whatever. But yeah, it was somewhere like the room I ended up living in at the time used to be my aunt's room.
Okay.
And I told her, oh my God, I lost my virginity in that bedroom. And she goes, shut the no. She told me she lost her virginity, that one. And I was like, shut the fuck up. So did I. We both lost our virginity in the same fucking bedroom.
Wonder if the bed was
like
positioned in the
30
same
years
fucking
apart.
spot.
Dude, that bed was so old. I'm pretty sure it was creaky because of her.
Oh
my God.
Did you ever like check it, see if there was any fucking tally marks?
No. Oh man, dude, that's hilarious.
Chicks
tally
keep
marks.
weird, like fucking like, I don't know. I honestly don't know one woman that I've met and had sex with that does not know their body count to the actual digit.
I don't like asking.
No, and I don't either.
Know.
And I've had a couple of chicks that were just like, I know. And then I'm like, well, that's cool. And they're like, do you want to know? And I'm like, no, I don't really know. Like, no.
I'm still having a good time, actually.
Yeah. And then like one time I got told the number and I was just like, fuck, I guess I am doing something great then, because fuck, I'm still
in the teens or something.
In the team here.
Team.
No, not in the teens, in the team.
No,
you know what I mean?
fuck.
Like, we're good. I still get phone
On
calls.
roster.
No.
Jesus.
But yeah, definitely one of those.
This got me so sidetracked.
How many times you've ran through your like scenario of like what age you lost your virginity at versus one of your like friends in the friend group. Like,
oh yeah,
that's a totally different story too. Cause like, I thought I was like totally sexually inexperienced by the time I hit.
Yeah, I thought it was a late bloomer.
18 or 19, but I lost my virginity at like fucking 12.
Oh, good for you. That's actually a felony, I think. Someone committed a felony against you.
Well, I mean,
I'm just fucking.
Yeah. Was it 12? Was it 13? It was one of the two, but it was like 13. Cool. This is awesome. This is what I want to do. Guess what I didn't do until like 21, baby, when I started going out. Like, it's just one of those, like, it's kind of funny. And then I used to think that like my other friends that were actively getting like laid in high school, like they fucking know what they're fucking doing. They're fucking cool. And then I like see some of them now and I'm like,
they peaked.
Oh, fuck.
Like you peaked in high school. Like
that
you're not getting
not
laid now.
Who I expected you to lock down and have 2 babies with at this age.
Isn't it wild? Some
And
people get like poison. That's why I think it's the same thing with when people smoke, when people do drugs,
they don't ever
people drink.
leave their hometown.
Well, what happens is it does. It like cripples them a little. It kind of like stagnates them where you're like, oh, you're stuck at this bracket because of this.
Yeah.
Because it happened too early and it stunted your growth emotionally, physically, sexually, whatever. And that is something I was really grateful for waiting for drinking and smoking weed and shit. Because a lot of my friends
were way into that way earlier than you?
Yeah, and it was just like there's a couple things where it's like, hey, I may not be skilled, talented, good looking, or smell very good, or have great teeth or anything, but
fucking morals.
But I have a couple principles that I stuck to, and it's helped me in the short term and hopefully the long term. But
yeah, like you didn't have to worry about getting gingivitis. Like
you
turned 18.
Yeah,
like you
no,
could
I already
have
had that. Fuck off.
So
What is that? Is that a detonator?
This?
It looks like a detonator.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely something.
It's a sobriety detonator. Watch me fucking spark up, Sonny.
It's something that it totally gets security going when they don't know what it is. No, it's kind of funny. It's one of those nicotine vapes, but
Nicotine vapes. Let me see.
they're totally they're digital now, man. They're kind of
Digital California cherry.
well, like
Nothing with California in the title
Yeah,
I trust
ever.
anymore because of the last couple of years.
yeah,
This place is turning into a fucking shithole.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the California is a lithium taste. If you flip the switch on the bottom and look at the black screen there, it'll actually kind of show you.
Holy shit, they're
Yeah.
digital now.
That's what I
Oh
mean.
my God. This was in Mission Impossible 1, at least. This is technology that
Yeah.
like you don't have anymore.
That's the one that they
That's
use.
so
That's the
cool.
one that they use to find the lasers.
Oh my God. May the pulse be with you.
Yeah.
All right. This thing's all over the map here.
Yeah.
Geek Bar Pulse. This was made in someone's bathtub. I love it.
Actually, I had one fall in the bathtub, survived.
All right.
So I don't know.
Do you like those things? I started doing a couple of the Zins. They're not bad. I definitely like one after a full stomach because I'll throw up like one of those kids that eats their dad's chew in Sandlot and they just fucking throw up everywhere.
The thing I like about tobacco is when you chew it is that you got to have wintergreen and it got to get everywhere. So the Zins to me, I don't know. I don't know. I know a lot of people that do them and kudos to them, but it just makes me think back to like when I first started chewing, like way back in high school. And
Way back. It doesn't seem that long
it
ago.
was 10 plus years ago that I started chewing. So, I mean, I think I was a freshman when I first started like stealing Copenhagen cans from my stepdad. That's fine. Like, cause he would buy a log.
Stepdads are great for those things.
Yeah. Except like I found out he got shitty chew, even though he'd buy Copenhagen, he would
Put
get
it in the
snuff.
can. Yeah.
And
Right.
like, I don't know, man. That's what I thought chewing tobacco was. And I just like the shit gets everywhere because it's so fine cut that like the first time somebody gave me extra long cut, I fucking almost came in my pants.
You're like,
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. Like I was able to pop the whole wad of chew out without having to like swish my soda and fucking like all over the place or worry about accidentally getting one of those little chunks in the back of my throat as I was trying to fucking walk through passing period. That one was always like a fun one. Like try to chew the whole time in class and be like gutting your chew, but
how
not swallowing it.
many people knew for sure?
Oh,
and
yeah,
just weren't
everybody.
busting you because I was looking through your Instagram before you got here for notes for
Oh yeah.
edges. You look like someone who was chewing in high school.
Oh
period.
yeah, definitely. Actually, I was the kid that was buying. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this, but I was the kid that was buying chew underage for underclassmen when I was in high school. So even when I was a junior and I was like 16, I had a chin goat.
Yeah.
So I could walk into like the liquor store that my parents didn't go to all the time to get gas.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be like, hey, let me get a pack of Swishers and a can of chew. And they'd be like, okay, here you go. And then I didn't think about it, but I overly abused that power one day. And I was like, yo, let me get like 4 packs of Swishers, a log of Copenhagen, and like 3 packs of Marlboro Blacks.
Yeah, you can't do the whole haul.
Yo,
in one
yeah,
like
I didn't know I couldn't be fucking Hugh Hefner because I couldn't even buy him. And that was cool because that was before California fucked everybody over. I mean, I guess federally, right? Everybody got fucked over when you had to be 21 to start buying cigarettes again.
That's crazy that they did it like nationwide, huh? That's everywhere.
I want to
now,
say that I think they did. I know. I mean, obviously California for sure. Because
Well, it's a trip because, like, as far as legislation goes for harming, helping versus whatever, you do not see people smoke that often at all. It's such
it's
out of vogue thing.
You
It's
kind
very
of you grew. Well, it's because they kind of stopped it in a lot of the like mainstream. You don't see anybody really smoking in movies anymore.
it's weird because I remember very clearly. I was in junior high. They started putting smoking as a rating for a PG or an R rating for movies is because it contains smoking.
Right, yeah.
Like that was part
Strayable
of
youth syndrome. They're going to know, Johnny. They're going to want to go buy a pack as soon as they get done watching Shrek because they saw him puff on that earwax candle. Like, but yeah, I'm totally with you. But that or like one thing that what we saw a big decline in, they don't have like the marijuana ads anymore.
Oh, the fucking flat girl on the couch.
Somebody was talking about this the other day and they were like, oh yeah, don't smoke a joint, not even once. And I was like, dude, do you remember the fucking, and he was like, deflated girl. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, all the other ones were totally relevant. Like, obviously, no, don't do meth. Like, we're not going to, no.
No one listened to that one, apparently.
Obviously not, you know.
That one did not reach everybody.
Like,
that one
if the examples that we if the examples that we got in Dare class didn't radiate enough, like those weren't made up photos, all right? That was my fucking Aunt Susie from fucking Pacoima, okay?
Hey, I know her.
Maybe. But like, no, it's funny because or like I guess you get the amount of people that just like went from like, nope, would never do cocaine ever in my life. They've got like a political standpoint on it. And it's like, oh, the next summer comes around and they're like, whoo, all right, we're fucking Bill Clinton this year. Like, we're breaking all the rules, but we can rewrite them, baby.
I was the only kid who was excused from Dare class. And
how does that happen?
So you have to sign, your parents sign something or say you can or can't.
You about drugs or what?
No. So part of the curriculum was to inform on your parents or siblings or people that you know are drinking or smoking or doing things like that.
No. Like it was like your pledge as a dare to my mom totally just didn't sign anything and had me go lie anyways.
Yeah, no, my parents refused to sign it. So when they had Dare class, I was taken out of the class and put outside on a picnic table with a book of some book of lies. Although another book of lies. Just like a book of fucking, what do they call it? Like assignments or something? Like a workbook. There you go. Whatever they had. Saying. Like an independent study book, something like that. So I was the only one that ended up not on fucking drugs in that class or not drunk or getting DUIs
because you
or
had
busted.
No idea what they actually were.
Because I was just like,
and your parents were like, go to the other room, and you were like, fuck it, they're gonna beat me up if I don't, anyways. So.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have dawned on me sooner that everyone in my family was doing some kind of drug. Had I been in Dare class?
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I never was.
And
then
then some social cues from that class for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Aunt so-and-so, name redacted, definitely talks really fucking fast all the time. Like,
yeah.
I actually asked my mom, like, Mom, why isn't Aunt so-and-so in the Guinness Book of World Records for being like the world's fastest talker? And my mom's like,
performance-enhancing drugs,
and
actually.
my mom was like, honey, you should see her when she's tired. She doesn't talk that fast. And I was just like, well, fuck, I don't think I have ever seen her tired. And I've seen her take a nap before. I think she talks in her sleep. Oh. But innocent little kid. But I love her. Big hug.
Yeah, no, to find out like exclusively, I think I'm the only person left in my family that has not done a hard drug. I'm not saying I haven't done acid that was probably made in someone's bathtub, but
well, I mean, those things are kind of acceptable, though.
Apparently.
I mean,
and now I ain't even fucking trying it now with like fentanyl. Like the amount of people who die because it was like oopsies, cheap coke is crazy.
Oh yeah, no,
I have fucking the Narcan stuff or whatever it is.
For people that have like overdosed.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I know.
I keep it next to the decaf.
They gave it to me when I broke my collarbone because they put me on an opiate. And they were like, you have to have this because we're prescribing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? You guys give this to people that are on like fentanyl overdose and shit.
When Kylie's dad was dying of pancreatic cancer, they gave him fentanyl to get rid of the pain.
They
gave him a bunch of fucking Narcan, like in the house for all of for everyone.
Like they gave so that they could see, like, because they'd prescribed so much, they needed to like make sure that. Because they do it in like a patch, right? Like
some of them, but no, they have like nasal sprays. They have like,
well, I mean, for like the Narcan, the application of that is a nasal spray.
What's the other stuff called? Maybe it's not called Narcan, but it's
I'm not sure. That's the only one that I'm up to date on.
Right. Okay. Well, using as like a colloquial term,
like tale was that if you gave somebody that was ODing like a bunch of milk, it would induce
code it.
It did something to like either it would induce some sort of vomiting and it would like make because it would be thicker than like the other stuff. Well, it would push everything up kind of thing or whatever, like a geyser.
Yeah. Zero Skateboards used to do the gallon of milk challenge at the they'd always have kids chug gallons of milk.
People were like dying from that shit.
Not dying, but like it's impossible not to throw up.
Yeah.
You have to like,
and you can't actually everything just goes out.
Yeah. No, because they're using pasteurized and homogenized milk. If you did raw milk, you could drink a gallon of that and you'd be fine. Okay. But everyone's throwing up because your system can't handle all that. And the last person to throw up gets a free board, gets a free set of wheels, and all this shit. Right. And I guarantee there's something to that where if someone ODs and you put a bunch of fucking milk in their system, they're going to go and lose their shit.
Exactly.
It's got to happen.
No, definitely. And I've seen a video of it before, and like I don't know if that one was staged or not. Like this dude's like ODing on the streets in like San Francisco or LA or something.
He had to come.
They fucking give him like a half gallon of milk down the fucking gullet as he's sitting there like incoherent. They're like, swallow it. And then the dude fucking throws up. He comes back too, and he proceeds to fucking try to kick the guy's ass because he killed his fucking high.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know,
I mean,
all you got
to do is go to one of these heavily Democrat ran cities and all these libtards that are dying on. Like, no. All you got to do is one of these liberals that are overdosing, give them some cow's milk instead of oat milk when they're overdosing. They'll come to, they'll throw up. Is that cow's milk? They're going to lose their shit. They're not going to die on that fucking hill.
Man, I don't give a fuck if it's free, man. You're going to kill my buzz. You got to get away from me with that.
Jesus Christ. That was a stretch. That just popped into my head. I was like, there's a bit here. There's absolutely there's something definitely possible.
All right. Well,
welcome to the show.
It's pretty rad.
First time.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful. When's your podcast airing?
You know, I'm still trying to put that together.
Yeah, it's a headache and a half.
I'm pitching the ideas to myself, like on the daily. Like, what if you did this? Like, what if you did it like this? I want to do something with music. But I also want to do, so I really like the idea of having a podcast that's based on like the Xander Kelly show, like from inside of Joe Dirt, like all aberration radio all the time. Like, let's just fucking get the random people that we want to interview, even if it's a staged random interview, but let's like actually make it quality. I don't care, but I wanted to actually have some music in between it. And I want to have another member here. Like I want another like person with like just enough of like a stupid mind like my own that it just works. Like, you know, there's most of these major things that work. There's got to be like a yin and a
dichotomy.
yang, you know,
for
like
sure.
Apple.
Oh, Apple and Android or what?
Ooh, no, like Apple, like Jobs and fucking
Steve Jobs and the other guy?
And the other guy.
I don't know the other guy. I didn't know there was another guy.
Yeah, no, there is another guy because it was like they did it in dude's fucking garage. Because it was like a combined effort.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think they had a falling out like every power couple does. Like fucking you hear about Hall & Oates. They're fucking splitting up after all these years of keeping it in the closet. Or whatever.
You beat me to the punch, really? You just stepped on my joke.
Damn.
That's fine.
Just pulled that thing out and stomped on it.
No, it's good. That's good.
I mean, you can only have so many of those album covers like that.
Right. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be so cool to have a co-host, to have someone I can do this regularly with.
Right.
It is so hard to get even one person one time to agree to meet you at a specific date and time.
Right.
Hence the one podcast a month thing. Also,
I mean, it's maintainable though.
The solo, absolutely. Because it's like, oh, I know how reliable that guy is because it's me. And it's a fucking hard thing. You have to really find someone who's on the same page with you. And also, the really cool component is a lot of times they have something offsite of their house. Doing this for my home office is like, it's cool. But also now, it's like, oh, well, If
if you were gonna bring a second person, like, okay, we kind of have to have a little bit more space here.
yeah,
Like,
or
you know.
or like, oh hey, this is also my house, and now I'm putting everyone else who lives here out, or now they have to put up with that. I've considered that because I've only had fucking someone else in the home that I wish wasn't in the home for so long. So now that I have like a good, happy home life, I know all the pressure it is to be like, hey, I'm about to ruin the peace we're having for a couple hours on Sunday.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Like, hey, there's gonna be a whole bunch of fucking pussy fart dick jokes coming out of the fucking
And not just
room
me
over
this
here.
time. It's coming from two
it's
people
gonna be-
who are
yeah.
amping it up.
So it's like, it's like when, people would have a block party back in the day, like the rich family would come by and be like, hey, it's going to get loud. We bought movie tickets so you guys could escape. Or you could come to the party.
Oh my God. That sounds like a cool neighbor.
It happens in Florida, I guess. I would get to witness that when I would go on vacation as a kid. Like when my dad would actually like kidnap me and be like, well, it wasn't kidnapping, but it'd be like, hey, I sent your mom tickets for a fucking plane so you can go to Florida and hang out with me for a month.
That's bitchin'.
So hop on the fucking plane.
I have, even though we, let's clarify for the listeners that don't know, you and I are essentially cousins.
Yeah.
Because
down the
your
line.
family and your mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family grew up across the street
the
from each other.
Feelys on 2nd Street and
The Gardeners,
right across. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So that whole lineage is, as far as I'm concerned, when Christmas time came around, we went to all our family's house. We went to your house or your grandparents' house, my grandparents' house.
Oh, yeah.
So
and
must.
Christmas Eve was like always, it was like my grandma Darlene. That was like that was her thing.
Sweetest angel. Love her.
She ran the children's department or children's section of the Moore's department store for like freaking years. She was like 1956 or 1957 Flower Festival fucking queen candidate or some shit like that.
Crazy.
Yeah. She used to show me like all because she was a doll about it. She kept all that. So ironically, that's where I get my red hair from. She had like redder hair than me.
Whoa.
But she used to have a bag of it.
Really?
And she kept it for years.
She's like, yeah, look at proof that she used to have red hair. Because as long as I knew her, it was white and gray.
Yeah, so and that was her proof. Like she had it, and so
these fucking weird Irish people.
Yeah, well, and she wasn't even the Irish one.
What?
Papa Bob, dude, he was the Irish one.
He scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah, no, boy,
he was as classic as an old fart man. Get off my lawn as you can be. His old truck, that rent free in my head.
Oh yeah, and then that guy is also a card. He was like a Golden Gloves boxer in like high school or some shit. Got drafted to go to Korea, but got DQ'd because he was allergic as fuck to poison ivy.
Whoa!
And so he got an honorable discharge from boot camp because they had supposedly like a ton of that shit that they were going to be running through in Korea. And so they were like, fucking saved him. He comes back, marries my grandma, fucking pumps out a whole bunch of fucking kids.
Yeah, he does.
Owned a Texaco station.
Yeah, he did.
On Ocean.
Bob's Texaco station. That
Lompoc Beans now. Shout out. That's the place.
Wild to think about.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
but yeah, their Christmases were nuts, man. That was like the whole
so much
house
fun.
would be there.
It would be so many strangers coming in and out. Strangers to us because we're kids.
Oh,
but
yeah.
and seeing you,
and then a lot of drunk motherfuckers. Like
it didn't occur to me that how often
was
everyone is always drunk all the time, constantly
around the holidays.
Yeah,
or just
in general,
or in your family.
Just like
I
family
realized
growing up
after
in
a
general.
while, like, oh god, we drink a lot more beer than like the next family.
It didn't occur to me for very long that.
But then I looked at the tables at other people's parties at Christmas, and then I looked at the table at our party at Christmas, and I was like,
there's a lot
more. Those fucking bottles are in the big leagues. And the other people in like AA ball right now, because like they got to go to the liquor store. This motherfucker is its own certified sustainable ecosystem of liquor right now, and all it takes is a different chaser.
Dude, the invention of like cell phones, social media, and everything being recorded has eliminated so much, or made family trauma and shit just so much more behind closed doors than it's ever been. Dude, if we had like old fucking just Snapchat videos of like Christmas growing up, and to see the just room full. I thought cameras just sucked back then. It's making everyone's face red and their eyes glassy. This shit sucks.
No,
Turns
everybody
out
was
drunk, toasted.
Dude, I saw my aunt flash somebody at a fucking Christmas party at my grandma's house.
Bitchin'.
Like that. If that's not Catholic, I don't know what it is.
That's not Irish Catholic drunk. Yeah, I don't know.
But hey, history,
That same aunt that lost the virginity in the same bedroom as me, flashed people out of a limo. We picked her up for her birthday in a limo one day during the daytime, and she got out the top and flashed people. And it was weird. We both have aunts that just flat. You know what?
When I say my aunt that flags, and this is like extended aunt,
right?
But like it's still like everybody grew up so closely knit together. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, who knows? Think about it. There's got to be someone around. That's what girls don't do enough anymore. Is no one's flashing anymore. When's the last time you had anyone flash you or get flashed? It doesn't happen.
And you don't just hear of like. It's never even brought up as like just a joke anymore either. I used to hear chicks say it like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna flash him. Like, they'd make the joke. You'd be at like Tehigas and you'd be waiting to get in your buddy's car. And he's like halfway down the fucking hill because he's way slower than, you trying to get up. But like all the chicks made it up before you too, bud. So they're just waiting on you. And
give him something to look forward
to.
Say
like, oh, fuck, we should like flash him. And I'm like over there like, yeah. And I just drop trout and moon like half these cars, and they're like, oh, God. Yeah, no. No, we're not going to do
you
that.
You can fish for shrimp out here. Look, honey.
Yeah, shit. God.
See, you end up drinking that water anyways. Suck it. I used to have one time
it's smart water, and I need all the help I can get, sir.
I understand. Do you hear that? I think that's my mom's truck outside.
Hi, Dallas's mom. Also, my mom, depending on what kind of mood she's in, if she's at the bar.
Yeah, totally. She needs to have a son she can party with that doesn't lose his shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't lose my shit, but like I don't think she likes hearing my voice after a while. I don't know.
You talk a lot.
I do, but I think it's also the tone in my voice. I have a very like their voice. Like I can hear. I've heard people like automatically be like, "Oh, Garrett's here." Like as soon as I say hello to one person across the room, and I'm not like yelling it either. Yeah, it's like I'll just have somebody nonchalant. I'm like, "There's a fucking jukebox going on in here," and there's like people clanking beers and like the bartender doing dishes and like, yeah. Garrett's here. Did you smell me? Is it my black tie executive from Bath and Body Works? Like, is it working? Or is it just my voice?
You hear you outside.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't even have a loud vehicle anymore. Like when I had like
tragic
a vehicle with exhaust cut off of it, I could imagine everybody like, yeah, fucker's here. And then I'd definitely honk the horn and yee and boot click as I'd run through the door, burp and shit in everybody's ears that said hello.
You know how loud and obnoxious you have to be for my mom to be like, I don't think I like hearing this voice.
No, and she's not like one of those audibly I don't like his voice, but I just know there are certain times when she will just give me the one arm and she'll just tell me something and I'll go to respond to it and she'll be like, no, just think about it. Just hold on to it. Think about it.
I don't know
Don't say anything.
I don't know how you get her to disconnect and shut up like that, but that's amazing. She's the only woman I've ever met that talks louder than she yells. It makes no sense.
I've been there when your mom's definitely in yell talk mode, and I've actually had to walk off one time because she was
just one time. Huh?
She was backing up the
rookie numbers.
She was backing up a person that was upset at me. But she didn't know the whole full side of the story, but she was tossed enough to have heard the story once and it stuck from the side that she heard it.
That narrative stuck. Yeah.
And she, even after the fact, your mom was cool about it. And she's like, hey, sorry, I was a little bit of a bitch to you, but guess what? I don't take it back.
And here's where I draw the line. And this is why I do the Irish goodbye. And this is why I don't how old are you?
About to be 29 in like, I don't know, about a month.
Yeah. You're 29. That woman?
Yeah.
Is in her fucking 50s.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, lady, and go home. I love you, Mom, but you shouldn't be getting in the middle of dramas with someone that's getting in the middle of drama with in their 20s.
Yeah.
You're You should be thinking about which state you want to retire to right now. Yeah. This is not the place to be. This is not the thing to do. And that's why I'm here in my 20s doing it now.
So long as
I
it
don't
is.
fucking end up like that. But that's fine.
But anyways. She's awesome, though. I've heard her actually say those exact words, too. I've heard your mom be like, nope, I'm just going to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here, go home. Because it's a lot cooler than here. And I'm like, fucking home is a lot cooler than this place.
It's a lot.
Why do we always go here?
It's a lot more affordable.
We like to be fucking socialable.
I do.
Or whatever you want to
social
call
component. And it's like really the only place where you can get so much socializing done in so little time.
Yeah. And you don't have to like worry about driving between, this person's house and that person's house. And this
or something like that. But maybe the quality of it isn't as high. So that we repeat to try and get the the more banked in there, socially speaking. And I'm just trying, I've noticed like, if I go like once or twice and it's not that great, I'm like, I'm not going to go a third time this week. It's already been like, it has to be like a cool special occasion. Has to be good band playing. Has to be like a fun, like the Alice in Wonderland night was fun, but we still went home early. You know what I mean? I
did have to work the next day, so I kind of booted out on that one a little bit early, but it was pretty awesome. The girls did an awesome job of like setting it up in there.
Dude, how cool has the Shamrock become? That place was.
I was just talking about this the other day.
I liked it when people like would walk in with bullet wounds still, but and that's kind of what I liked about it is like I was never going to run into. Also, I liked it because none of my family members went there anymore, and I was like, this place is pretty rad.
We did have a little bit. There was a shift in like that
management
right after COVID.
Yeah, because they were closed for like 6 months.
They were closed for a while. We had like some of our friends getting the foot in the door there. Like that was when Cheyenne was, I think, just bartending still. She wasn't even like manager yet.
No, every new bartender. I was like, where's Camille? What the fuck is this?
Yeah. And then it was everybody just kind of boom, 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 boom. And then bam, it was like, now we're at this, like, they have like themed parties with
all the time.
Like,
there's a costume party probably once a month.
At least one. And they're doing events all
they
throughout
have
the
a
week.
book
They got,
club.
book club. They do like Saris coordinates those arts and crafts nights, and like you see these local vendors, these Lompoc souls that are like, this is what I can create with my own two hands, and you don't have to buy it from fucking Amazon.
That's sweet.
And you can have a beer while you look at it.
It's pretty bitchin'. Dude, the first time after they reopened, once COVID was getting on, I walked in there and Sarah was bartending. And she goes, "Oh, hi, could I see some IDs?" And I was like, "Who the fuck are you? Can I see some ID?" For like in my head, I was like, "What are you talking about? What? What are you doing behind my bar?" Like,
I had no idea who Sarah was when she first started working,
and she just had like that short, like pixie cut, and I was like, "Who's this libtard in my fucking bar? I can't say faggot loudly now. This is bullshit." And she ended up being like the coolest fucking person ever.
She is so rad. Yeah, she's like one of those. I feel like she's like that therapy friend where not like cry therapy. Like I'm going to fucking come like emotion. It's like hey, let's have this dumb conversation right now and get my mind off of what's actually eating away at me. And like the debate or the discussion that ensues, the back and forth is like, she's like in between working and serving drinks. I'm between getting tossed and ordering more drinks. But like, it's that perfect middle ground where you meet at the bar. And it's like, hey, I'm not fretting about what I was fretting about when I walked through this door anymore. I'm thinking about, like, I guess one of her favorite, like more favorite topics to lean to is like aliens.
Dude, I was gonna say.
So
she's
when
like,
we get down the alien
if you had to
rabbit
show,
hole, I'm like,
she's like, if you had to show an alien, hey, she's like, I'm making a list. If you had to show an alien a movie, what movies would you show them? And she started making it, and I was like, oh my god, dude, it's so bitching. And that was one of the earliest conversations I had with her, where I was like, damn, this dude's pretty cool. I fucking love her.
Fucking totally misjudged this book by its cover.
And then also to find out, I think Cheyenne's younger than us, and she manages that shit with an iron fist. She crushes it.
A year or two younger.
Dude, wild.
Yeah, no, she does a freaking crazy cool job. And then like she's like one of those like, we used to see you in the McDonald's freaking like drive-through. Like no. Like you're a person that actually fucking set some goals and did some shit. Like to say that I did some stuff similar to that. I lived in New York for a year, but that's not like,
a lot of people live there. Not great about it.
Yeah, that's why I left that place, man.
And fucking Katie's unfuckwithable too. makes the best I like when she's working. I like to order cocktails from her. No offense to the other girls, but Katie's just has more experience with the cocktails. I think every time I order it,
she separates the men from the boys
with drinks for sure.
She does, and she actually separates the ladies from the women. Because I've
have
walked
no
in
idea
there.
what that means.
I've walked in there before.
Is that a new pronoun?
No, it's like I've walked in there before, and like people that like when I order a cocktail from her, I love it. It's like perfect. It tastes like a cocktail. I'm not like, let me not taste the alcohol in this. I want to know that I'm drinking alcohol in this, and she does a great cocktail. But I have had people that like come in there and they're like, oh my gosh, and they'll try to talk shit about Katie's cocktails, and I'm like, you shut your fucking whore mouth.
Who could? I think you're making that up. There's no way they could.
Somebody tried to do. Somebody was trying to say that it was like too strong, and I was like, you shut your fucking whore mouth. Like I audibly said it. I was just like, I can't fucking believe you. You're going to complain about alcohol that tastes like alcohol.
How about the fact I know that they know if I order a Bud Light with olives, that's code for stop serving me. I've had too much to drink.
That's just a fucking weird combo.
Well, that's what my parents grew up drinking. Well, it's Coors Light with olives, but
see, I don't like olives, but I could see that being
the martini olives are perfect in there. I don't know why.
I could see what you're saying
because it was instilled in me. It was super young.
I do. If I start drinking Coors Lights and I start asking for limes, that one right there, I've had them be like, "Hey, so," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, like after this next one, yeah, definitely."
Yeah.
Because it's like for me, it's like at that point, I'm wanting a Corona. And I don't drink Corona if it's too late.
Oh, if I'm drinking Corona, I've already too far gone.
I'll start drinking way too much tequila after that because I always mix a little bit of tequila in there. Woo, baby.
That's gnarly.
Oh, I got the freaking Bandero hat, dude.
I know you do.
Sponsored.
What was that, a free hat? Of course you did. Yeah.
Ben and I are pretty cool.
I didn't know which one was Ben for so long.
Oh, really?
Dude, I was like, who the fuck is Ben? And who's this guy who's here every day when I come in? I'm sick of that.
Oh, Jim's fucking cool too. I mean, he's got one of the keys to my heart. That man speaks my love language.
No, I know. It was just, I didn't realize which one Ben was, but I would show up and I'd be like, it's just the same old barflies here.
Dude, that man has swag.
I don't
like if that's a word anymore. Like that man has some fucking
that
riz.
2012 once it's okay, you're mixing the fucking the keywords.
He walks into the other bar to check his fucking touch tunes and his ATM because he owns them.
Bitchin'.
And he pays for a round for the people that are sitting there at the bar when he goes in to check for it. Like, yeah.
I gotta fucking clock these people.
He just sets the thing down and he just goes, here, pay for a round. Well, cool. Shots or beers for anybody here right now. And you're just like,
right.
Ooh, that's some like, what's that? What's the one song? Big Dick Energy. Like,
I don't know. Is that a rap song?
Yeah, it is.
I know the term.
It's
Big
catchy.
Dick Energy,
It's
but
catchy.
I don't listen to rap. I do against my will.
You know,
at work,
I made the mistake of like going on a trip to Red Rock, like at the beginning of the summer. One of the gals that was riding in the car with me, I fucking let her have my Apple Music, and it has been fucked up ever since. There is like fucking Megan Thee Stallion in there. There's
she's great. Megan Thee Stallion's great.
And it's like it'll play in the most inopportune moments. It'll be like I'm trying to get down on like a heavy duty fucking transmission tear out on like a piece of equipment.
Right.
And I've got like fucking Blind by Korn going.
Hell yeah.
And I'm handling some shit, you know, like internally I'm fucking
Why is it
and then it just bounces in with like fucking, you know, get a bucket in the mop for this wet, and then I'm just like, and then by all means it's a fucking human fucking resources fucking violation because there's going to be one of the female employees that just walks up and like, oh, by the way, Garrett's playing this fucking bigotry.
What's
the explicit edition? They said pussy. And then there's no
equivalent. There's no equivalent. There's nothing a woman could play that would upset a man to where he could go to HR without looking like a fucking pussy ass bitch and it actually be validated. I don't think it exists.
Yeah.
There has to be, you have to be such a protected class of a person as a male for that to even happen.
Yeah.
You'd have to be some sort of indigenous. I think you'd have to have some sort of extra pronoun or extra chromosome to have a fucking chance in HR meeting for that.
You have to be on the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and that has to be the wish for it to work.
I gotta pause you there. I realized I didn't take my fucking medication today, and that's why I keep jumping down your throat to interrupt you.
I do that all the time.
I know. Well, I take medication so the show's quality stays intact. Let me just take a little. Let's take a little pause, Sonny, and we'll be back in a few seconds.
Tell people that are like, can't do it if they're not.
Yeah, no. If I do sixes or do one of those like actual man-sized milligrams of Zins, I'm fucked. I'd start throwing up. Really? But yeah. Well, how do you? I just get like super nauseous and like dizzy, and I'm like,
kind of like,
I'm not actually Ernest Hemingway after all.
When they would do the original like head rush, when you would take like a big chew. Like, I don't know if you ever, did you ever get that as a freshman effort when you first started chewing?
No, I never chewed. I've only done the Zins. I have this can of like fine cut Grizzly. Do you want it?
No. Fuck you. It will get so shit sandwiched into my teeth. I'll be picking it out for weeks.
Well, that's not going to get stuck in the middle, is it?
Not here. Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Hey, fun fact. If I ever have my teeth, like, I have this thing, I want them like busted out completely. And I want like I want Jaws from fucking James Bond teeth.
Yeah, right.
But I want to keep this gap like exactly the same. These two teeth, like that profile, like identical. I don't want to lose the gap.
When I got my teeth fixed and my gap was closed, I got so much pussy.
Really?
It is wild. Not even literally.
See, I
didn't get laid a lot.
chicks with gaps. So maybe that's why I still
thigh gaps. Yeah. But so they started, it wasn't that I got like laid a lot, but the female attention changed.
I get what you're saying.
Me in a palpable way where I was like, oh, okay, that was like if I was like a 6 out of 10, that made me like a 6.5 out of 10, and it like upped my game hard.
Yeah,
being generous with myself, guys. But anyways, the thing. Oh, I was gonna ask you when I saw like mention the gap in your teeth. Have you ever had like a pussy lip or a clit stuck in there before?
No.
Dude, biggest fucking fear of my life.
Yeah, no,
where
ironically,
I
never.
swear to God, I've had like
I'm the kind of guy that shit would
soft
happen
tissue
to.
in there.
But,
no, what are you talking about?
But I've been known to get into some shitty situations. But no, yeah, nothing like that. No, I feel like if that was gonna, I've heard. I can't remember who it was.
Good,
but I had a friend that had a broken tooth, and like. He was like, it wasn't broken, but it was like chipped, like really, like you couldn't notice it. But he like actually went down on his chick pretty aggressively and like snagged her.
Yep.
Just enough.
Jagged edge. That'll do it.
That fucking like profusely, like to the point where they had to go to like the hospital, and like chick was super embarrassed. Homie didn't get no pussy for like forever. I think like that actually ruined like their dynamic. Like,
yeah, no shit.
And like, it was just a fucking, like, he didn't know, but she would just, no, there's no coming back from that.
I remember when I was in high school, this chick came over one time, and immediately when we started like getting to second base or whatever, or third, maybe, I don't know, I forget, started her period. And I was like, it was so new to my 16-year-old self and her 19, 20-year-old self, I guess, I've always just been a big, tall, like boy. So all older women always treated me a little different.
Yeah, I got you.
I've been perved on by older like women my whole life.
I too have had that happen.
And I think that's why I'm dating someone that's,
and it's 7 years, I'm a short man.
Senior. Anyways, again, ruin the dynamic. We never did anything after that again. I was just like, whoo, this is weird.
No, and I had, dude, and shit, like, honestly, the age gap was, like, pretty appropriate. I think I was 16, and I was with this chick that was, like, graduated already. And, like, my mom had, like, met her and shit. So, like, it wasn't one of those, like, I guess, like, even though everybody knew it was, like, legally wrong.
What
like,
cop? What fucking
yeah,
cop?
my mom was like, fucking,
what DA?
We live in, like, this sounds shitty. We live in rural Northern California. Who gives a fuck? But it's like, I mean, obviously... somebody probably should have gave a fuck, because you can't just let a 16-year-old boy shack up with a fucking 19-year-old chick and just like fuck like rabbits. Nothing good comes of that. Though?
Nothing
started
good
showing up late to class. Fucking started fucking making excuses not to go to school, like because my girlfriend's still asleep. Like Fucking just can't leave her at the house.
Those super thinly
Can't leave her
veiled
unattended, you know? Like,
excuses not to go to work. That's
yeah. Oh, God.
so bad.
That's why I'm so lazy as an adult now. But yeah, no, there was one time and nobody had given me the courtesy that like, it's fucking definitely on my period. And so like lights off because like lived in a fucking gorilla fucking pot grow. There was no power after a certain hour because we shut the generator off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so fucking there I am in the dark. And like the next morning, I thought there was just a bunch of waterworks going on. No, it looked like somebody fucking murdered somebody with like a shotgun and like some number 8 bird shot. Like,
God bless.
There's just blood everywhere. And I was actually pretty scarred after that. Like,
That'll fuck you up.
it was like I've like my internal thought was bleach can fix this. But my mom,
I don't think
my mom
she'll
happened to
digest
walk
it well.
in while I was doing turn down service on my own bed.
God.
And she saw that and she just said, "You got to burn them." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And she was like, "You're not going to be able to clean them. They're going to take up too much space in a garbage bag. Fucking just burn them." And I was like, and then I felt disgusted because it was like just the series of events that happened here.
Your mom coming gross. How'd that feel?
I mean, my mom walked in on me a couple of times, even though I had like established a safe word after the first time. Like, "Mom, if I hear the door opening and I'm in the middle of doing something, I'm just going to fucking scream pineapple."
Why is that everyone's safe word? I gotta
The
change
chick's
my
the one
safe
that
word.
came up with it. I don't know where she got it from. She was older. Fucking taught me some of her ways, but
My first one I think was either kangaroo or pancakes. When I was
see, those
my
are
first
like
girlfriend.
that's like way better. Like, I don't know what was when people were fake drowning in like the pool back in the day. Why would we used to have to say like peanut butter?
I don't know. I
I
still
don't know
can't
if that was
swim.
like the catchphrase.
I still don't know how to swim. so I
Oh,
don't
come
know.
on, pussy.
I mean, I can.
You like doggy paddle at least.
Yeah, no, like I can swim, but
You're not
I
gonna
can't tread
drown?
water because, dude, my back injury makes it
Oh
impossible.
my God, that's the best place for you to be.
No, that's what everyone says. When I rotate my legs,
Yeah.
like when I do what do they call them? Windshield wipers?
Gyrations.
Gyrations.
Hip. And when you do your fucking downward
Seizes up.
dog in the water,
Seizes up my back
Really?
and leg seizes up, and I think
you got that like Bo Jackson shit going on.
not bowed legs, but
No, Bo Jackson.
no, I know, but they're
Because his was like his like hips and his spine were like pulling on each other, and that's why he
Right.
stopped having to play like sports or whatever.
well, yeah, my hip flexors. I have to stretch those, or I lose feeling in my legs when I do a physical activity.
Who was it?
I haven't skateboarded since
Who was it
April
in our
because
friend
of this.
group that had something similar go on where just out of nowhere they like lost the feeling in their feet. They couldn't drive their like badass car anymore.
I don't think this is a friend of mine.
I don't know. I'm probably not want to like blast anybody's name, but they went like the same thing, like out of nowhere.
I'm sure
The back just
everyone
went,
knows everyone.
The
here,
back
but-
just went sore. I think it was like Tyler Santos or something like that. He like at one point in time he had like a badass. He's got like his card shop's doing awesome, except for like people fucking breaking in.
I
or
don't
whatever.
know who that is.
But like he had a freak thing. Everybody was pulling for him for a while because like he couldn't like
That's awful.
he couldn't drive a stick anymore because he couldn't feel his like legs. Like he was going through like the
Couldn't pop the
similar
clutch or
thing.
whatever
Yeah, well,
stick
it was
is.
like the amount of like him not being able to feel it or something like that, and then it would be like I think certain pulse pain. But like, because he had like a 6-speed Hellcat, and he was like have to sell it
I've
or
never
something
known
like that
anyone
because
that's had a car like that.
I
Was this
think-
a black man?
No, he invested.
like Hellcats,
I think
I
he
heard.
invested really well in cryptocurrency. If I remember watching his posts around
That time
that
when
time,
it was
he was big on.
I had to
think
s-
him and Jay Meadows were like one of the only 2 people in my fucking
that
Facebook
name rings a bell.
where they were just like crypto. Buy this, buy this, buy this.
Rings a bell.
This is going here. I'd buy this, and like sure enough, these dudes were like pretty much all right about it, and they bought at
cool.
the right time,
Good
and they
for
were
them.
able to.
Invest.
And now people are like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's at this many dollars a share. And I'm like, dude, I remember Robert that owns a big food truck came up to me years ago and was like, hey man, because I worked with his brother and I ran into him ironically at his brother's moving sale. And he's like, hey man, how you been? And I was like, oh, doing pretty good, man. Like, what about you? And like, cause he used to ride motorcycles together. And he's like, oh, I've been just hustling on, making side, work
Side
for this and
hustles and
that and trying to keep it floating. But he's like, my big thing right now that I'm investing in is Bitcoin. And I'm like, that was after the Netflix movie Dope came out, where like the kids ended up with like the bag of like dope, whatever. And they like sold it on the black market and exchanged it into Bitcoin.
Genius.
And like, so like I had an idea of what it was, but a slim idea. But I was like, fucking no way this shit's going to fucking kick off.
That was a long time ago.
Like, and like, I love the dude to death. And I even tell him the story still when I see him in his truck and his wife's truck are like fucking fully frolicking. And he's like, I bought these things with fucking Bitcoin.
That's amazing.
Or I think I don't know about his wife's, but he
And
was
they
like,
probably
yeah.
did that before there was tax forms
Well,
for
no, and
crypto.
then he even said that he had like an account in Bitcoin set up for his kids already that was only going to accrue more. And I was like, ain't no way that shit's going to happen either. But I was like, cool, fuck yeah, bros. I hope it works for you.
Isn't it weird how
Who is
people
the fucking dumbass? Me, right here,
Sitting
in this
in-
chair.
in
I could have
my
went over and
office,
been like,
sitting
yeah,
in the
bro, show me
ghetto,
how to
you
do
know?
this. I got an extra $100.
Right.
And could have been like a fucking one of these cool entrepreneurial, I wouldn't say kids, but like people.
young adults that are
Young
just
adults
crushing
that
it, you know?
have, a business that makes people happy because it's fucking food.
Do you ever see people who are like successful at what they do and you go, I went to high school with you and you were a fucking idiot?
Yeah,
How
there's
I
a
think-
couple of occasions.
I think that there's a Goldilocks to intelligence
There really is.
for normal people to be successful. And this is just me making myself feel better about my perceived intellect that's actually quite thinly veiled bullshit.
I'm with you on that.
Big time. I can't tell you how many times. I think there's a certain amount of like stupidity or out of touchness you have to have with humanity or like the world around you that makes you like quite successful. It gives you the talent or like the know-how
To
be profitable in some way. To start like the people where I'm just like, yeah, I couldn't sit in a fucking class with you. Like you're fucking, and here you are with a mortgage that you got covered. Like they just did the normal people things.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it nature? Is it nurture? Was I really like at this much of a disadvantage in the trailer park? And it turns out a lot of it's like, I think I was just this jaded, but also, I'm trying to like reverse engineer why the trajectory of life is what it is for certain people.
yeah.
Because everyone's different, but there's still formulas people follow. And you go, yep, those people are all brokers. They all do that. Oh, those people are all went to college and have a degree. And even though they couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag, they have a house and a car or whatever. And it blows my mind. I'm like, wow, all the things I thought were important that I value, it turns out I'm looking at everything they have and I value that more. I hate that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a materialistic thing.
It's like you measure that success to
No,
it.
and it is because it gives you something to benchmark your own self against.
Yeah.
As much as
can
you're not
hurt you.
competing with somebody, you're giving yourself. It's like when you were a kid, man, and you wanted to buy the next model freaking skateboard, or like, oh, I want to grab this set of wheels, or I want to buy I'm going to buy the Osiris G bag with the speakers.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut that out of the magazine, post that shit up on the bulletin board
All the time.
I'm going to manifest it.
That's my fucking spirit.
This is what I
board.
want.
It's my.
I
What are they
have
called?
to have this to
Spirit
be
boards?
happy.
What are they called?
What's that?
What are they called? Spirit boards. What are they called? You put all of the shit you want on a
Oh
board.
yeah, it's like a hope chest.
Hope
Or
chest?
whatever, yeah. Like
Hope
back
chest.
in the day, it was a hope chest for the chicks, I think.
Hope chest. That was the first girl I
Calvin.
felt up was Hope's chest in 8th grade.
Calvin, I put your underwear on my hope chest. That's your name, isn't it?
Back to the Future. But no, so like I used to do that. Like the first dirt bike I wanted, I post, hey, let me circle that bitch in Auto Trader. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep looking at it.
Well, I used to do that all the time.
But I think we transfer that into, because we're told, hey, you got to focus on this. Well, how are you going to know what to focus on if somebody else hasn't already done it? It's that Pathfinder mentality that a lot of people lack, but that ability to succeed that people fucking do have. You know what I mean?
I try to figure
Like
out
I
what
don't
it is.
have a mortgage. I don't right now. I don't have a car payment.
I don't want
but like,
any of
I got
those
a fucking
things in
cool
California.
job. Did I go to college? No. Do I get paid good money? Fuck yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living?
I'm a ground service equipment mechanic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm on fucking
Ground service equipment.
They call it GSE. So I work at the airport in San Luis Obispo, and my job.
Is it still for that jet place?
Yeah. So
okay,
ACI Jet is the actual name of the company.
I was curious,
and I'm going to do a shout out because the company's really fucking rad. It's like it's amazing what they do for their employees as far as like the benefit programs and like, dude, we have an employee break lounge.
Did you commute?
Yeah,
that sucks. Do you? Yeah.
Everybody that I work with also, when I drop that dime, that like, oh, I live in Lompoc, and they're like, sir, that's like an hour commute, and I'm like, oh yeah, but it's a beautiful commute.
At least you have freeways and highways. I fucking commute to San Ynez Valley, and it's
that
single lane most of the time.
Oh,
I pray for an accident to get one of these people off the road every day so I can get to fucking
but you
work
also
on time.
don't because you don't want that delay.
No, but I want next week to be a little quicker because fuckface's Nissan isn't on the goddamn.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm with you.
But then everyone drives slower and safer because the asshole died.
And then that means the CHP is going to sit out there because there was an accident. He's going to make sure that, like.
Or I hate when it's like we're all stuck behind one car. There's 11 fucking cars stuck behind your shitty little Honda Civic, and then it turns into 2 lanes, and then all of a sudden you know how to drive faster? Where the fuck were you the last goddamn 10 minutes on this fucking short road going 10 under, you piece of dickwad? I hate that shit.
I do too. And like the other one,
see that that's
the one that I also don't like, and I found a way around it because there is a shortcut to get to my work a lot faster. But
the Canyon,
yes,
I love that one,
and that's a beautiful drive in its own. As long as they're not pumping too much oil that day, you don't get too much of a sulfur smell when you're going through there.
Well, I lost my sense of smell, Garrett. I don't actually.
That's right. You did that COVID thing.
Got COVID. Yeah.
You did the COVID.
It's been a year and 2 months. No smell.
I got the COVID and I was actually, my smell was there the whole time.
Yeah.
And
right.
I was like,
I've had it before.
I had the flavor, everything was still there, but I wanted to chop the top of my dome off. Felt like somebody squeezed it with like a.
It was headache. You had like a body ache headache,
but it was like an angel's halo. It was like it felt like it was up
like
here.
the headband weed,
but it felt like it was up here. But it was like it was actually my head.
Do you think that was just your hair falling out?
No, okay. It does. It does definitely. That does give me headaches too, and then I think it hypersedes it because the headaches.
Do you think it's your dad's fault?
Oh, most definitely.
That your hair's gone. I heard it's your mom's grandfather is the gene you get it from or some shit.
And that could be the case too. I never got to meet Papa Fee, great Papa Fee.
My mom's adopted, so I have no idea.
Papa Bob, that man did not have
hair.
Not really.
I was pretty young.
That was when he was when he was younger, he had great hair.
Is that how it happens?
But the whole time that I knew him from, 1 until 6 or 7 or something like that.
Damn.
Or not 1, but birth until, he was definitely a dome top. My grandpa Ken, my little granddad on my
your
dad's side. Definitely. That dude, he could put wax on that thing and shine it. But he kept the 2 patches on the sides. And then Uncle Pete, he was a pretty proud one. He kept that shit for forever. My Uncle Paul has shaved his head with a razor.
Right.
Like Mr. Clean for...
I never saw Uncle Pete without his hat. Maybe in
he actually
all 24 years.
Funerals and weddings, bud. And he would only take it off for that brief second that the pastor would speak, and then he'd throw that shit right back on.
Seriously. Oh my God.
And it was always like a Dale Jarrett hat.
I think it was, honestly, his service was possibly the most difficult one I've ever had to sit in my life. And
yeah, it's,
that was, it was a really strange feeling for me because it was someone who, that's your family friend, not your real uncle. But that shit hurt deeper than most.
I know a lot of people that, even my friends, that they knew him as Uncle Pete.
Right. I remember the person you were with, your partner at the time, walked in and she was shocked to see me there. And I was like, I don't want to see you right now. I'm fucking bawling my eyes out over here.
Oh.
It was super weird.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
it couldn't even save me a spot. I was so pissed that day, though. Honestly, that day was horrible. It came into it with a bad fucking attitude. I ended up taking the most days off you could take off without having your job in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Because of my Uncle Pete passing away.
Right. Because
I was like, nope, shouldn't happen. Nope. No. I almost mentally cracked. Like I almost had to go like see a therapist because I was like, this didn't happen. I'm going to go drive by 2nd Street. He's going to be sitting in cousin Tony's garage right now. Right. They're going to be bullshitting at each other's throat with some sort of political bullshit. And that wasn't the thing. But I had told him like, hey, the day before, I'd even told him like when I first found out about, hey, this is when his service is going to be, and said I don't want to take the whole day off because that's not going to do me any justice. But I'm going to go to work.
Why are we like this?
I'm going to get off early if that's okay. And
if that's okay, that's how men are. That's so fun.
And my boss at the time was like, yeah, no, please. That's fine. No, but sure. I don't know why you're not just going to take the whole day off, but yes. So I end up training a new guy that day. And the fucking new guy, we're like in the box truck. And he's just not taking directions very well. He's driving too quick and he's not listening to the directions. So he takes he misses a street and trying to get him to a spot where he can turn around. And he's driving too fast down the road that he doesn't know. And he clips the corner of this fucking box truck with this overhanging branch. And now we're fucking calling my boss. Now we're, calling Penske because it's a rental. And this is his first day on the job. Now I'm like, hey, okay, all right. We can still pull this off. Shit's not too fucked up. We get to this point where I realize that the cutoff is now. I have to start heading back towards,
Right.
Otherwise, I'm going to show up to this thing late. So I called my boss. Her disposition had changed. And it was, well, when you're done doing the job, you can go. I was like, obviously I didn't know that what the contract of arbitration was that I signed when I got the job there, but I wanted to sue so badly over that shit.
Seriously.
Because I showed up, almost the last speaker at my uncle's funeral in my greasy ass fucking highlighter, fucking striped tire uniform.
Yeah.
You
look stressed.
Smelling like dick balls and ass and having to try to think about what I wanted to portray. I didn't have the shower thought time to like, hey, let me fucking just blast myself with fucking ice cold water and think about what I'm going to say. It was like, no. Here you go. Pull a string out of the hat, and this is the topic of what we, And I remember I fucking actually blew off the next day. Good. I just called him. And I was like, hey, I ended up getting I got food poisoning at my uncle's wake.
Yeah, not
coming in. Nope. And proceeded to have a great day and think, all happy thoughts. But I just remember like showing up late to that. Wasn't like any sitting room left.
I know there was,
but I will say
I've never been to one where there was
that many
people.
And
no
even
sitting
the
room.
amount of people that just were afterwards that were walking up that I hadn't seen since I was like a fucking kid. Like the same thing happened at my mom's funeral, dude. There was people that were walking up and they were like, Garrett, do you remember me? And I'm just like, fuck, like, no. But like, how many years ago that we're talking? This is like people that knew me 25 or 24 years ago. Like I'm a toddler.
Where was your mom's service at?
My mom's service was here in Lompoc.
Which venue?
They actually did a burial thing at the actual cemetery. And then they had like a lunch deal at the Mission Club afterwards.
That's where I was, and that was the first time I can.
That
recall.
was actually you met my dad that day.
I didn't know if I had ever met your dad before.
And that was my actual dad because he was there.
What trip?
Yeah, because I remember we grabbed cocktails as soon as I got there.
Because I was doing gin and tonics only back then.
Driel and I stopped off because that was when I was dating Driel. I got the news that my mom had passed while I was in Driel's apartment. Like I had moved in with her in Goleta. And she's like, hey, what's up? Because I got off the phone and I just didn't say anything. And she was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, I got to call the sheriff's department and verify some shit. And then got off the phone with them. Like, this isn't some stupid joke that you're fucking... Like, I have a very hard time believing people have passed away. Like, when I got the news that Thomas had passed away.
Oh my God.
Fuck
it
you.
seems so fucking unreal.
Fuck you,
So
fuck you.
I
This is
I
stupid.
texted him and I was like, hey, dude,
messaged
are you
him. I
okay?
messaged him.
What's going
I know
on?
This is bullshit. I know you're just on MIA and you're just going through some shit. Message me back. Like, let
Also,
me know you're
like,
safe,
hey, how
fucker.
come you haven't even messaged me? What the fuck? I had no idea. No idea.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then like, that's when I ran into you at his funeral service and I was just like,
So fucking unreal.
that's right. Fucking holy shit. But like, so we're like leaving the cemetery and like my dad's like, well, hey, you want to ride with me? And I'm like, no, it's fine. Triel and I went like right to the Shamrock. Pull in there. Got a couple of double talls of some gin and fucking pineapple juice. Turn that shit on. She was my sober driver. She was like, hey, I don't care. I'm paying for your drink.
Right.
And then by the time we got to the Mission Club, that's when my dad was already there.
Yeah.
And I ran into him outside and I was like, hey, drinks, fucker. Like before I have to start looking at all these pictures scattered around the tables and shit. And
was that something you were expecting? Was your mom sick? I don't know any of the details behind.
So like honestly,
behind it.
my mom,
Also, I don't know the details of Thomas's either. As far as
I don't know any of the details on Thomas's either.
Yeah.
I know that there was a note left that was very vague. I didn't know anything else. But with my mom was a trooper, dude. I mean, like she survived skin cancer at 17, like on like her nose, they chopped it off. She had an ex-boyfriend that like fucking ran her over in the driveway on 2nd Street because he was drunk.
Our moms have a lot in common, it sounds like.
Fucking, yeah, she got drug underneath the car and like dude didn't even know it kind of thing. She had a lower L3 or L4 cage collapse
Oh my God.
when she was like after like a year or I think I was maybe 3. Yeah, I think I was 3. She had that happen when she was working. My mom used to program phones in Goleta, like cell phones, in the 90s. And so the place she worked at was called Cell Asylum, which is kind of a fucking weird name.
That's like a cool video game name.
sounds-
That's like a
yeah.
PC game that you don't fuck with.
My mom's like, I used to be able to program Motorola phones and Nokia phones, and all you had to do was punch the numbers in and I remember all the sound cues and everything. And I was like, that's kind of a trip. I didn't know you knew how to do things, Mom.
Right.
Like, but no, she went through all that stuff and fucking that led, I mean, not that my mom probably didn't have some experience with controlled substances before that. Definitely led.
But the collapse cage, the pain.
A lot. Yeah, that. And then at the same time, they found out that she had a puddle in her knee and like the meniscus area or whatever. And the practice to fix it at that point in time was like
Not high tech,
a lower leg cadaver replacement.
What?
So yeah, my mom ended up being like one of the cadaver surgeries where they took like a
Dead person's
an organ
knee.
donor's
Yeah.
fucking knee and lower leg, and that was in close construction to my mom's, like compared X-rays. This is her fucked up knee and this is their good knee, and yep, it looks like it'll fit. Let's shove that fucking thing in there. Clack, clack, clack.
No fucking
Well, they did that at the same time that they did her back.
I'm about to throw up.
So they did the double surgery. So my mom had this body cast for the cage thing that was like a stormtrooper fucking skin, black padding with like a white plastic hard shell.
Oh my God.
And then one leg that was braced straight. And she had crutches. And so I lived with my papa Bob and my grandma Darlene for like a year or 2 years while she was in recovery. My stepdad was taking care of her and going to work all full time and shit.
In Modoc?
No, this is when we still lived in Lompoc, dude. Yeah, this is before I was even like through elementary school.
No.
And so yeah, she would like walk around and kids would get scared. Because when she was doing her PT, we lived like 5 blocks away from Hapgood.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom being crazy Colleen on her fucking Vikes or Somas or whatever the fuck they were giving her at the time for all the, breakthrough recovery pain, she would go marching down on her crutches, and she would pick me up from elementary school because she couldn't drive because her right knee was straight.
Jesus.
So she would come pick me up, but kids would get fucking scared because this lady looks like a fucking stormtrooper with like a leg armor blown off and no helmet and no fucking shoulders pads, But she would go to like Burger King and like McDonald's and Walmart when they used to hand out like the smiley face stickers at the door, and she would just stockpile those fucking things in her purse. And whenever a kid would like look at her scared, she'd fucking bust out like the stack of stickers and tell the kid to pick which one they wanted, and they can put it anywhere on the thing. And so in my mom and stepdad's storage in Northern California, there's this big fucking cast fucking looking brace, still sticker bombed with like Burger King Dale Jarrett stickers and shit that like nostalgia stickers from like the shit that you can't find anymore. And they're on this thing. And it's like, and they're just randomly placed. Some are upside down. Some are in fucking places that you can't even, like if she was wearing it, you wouldn't even be able to see it. Like, but my mom was a fucking trooper. I know she loved the hell out of my stepdad, loves the hell out of my stepdad, however that may work. But I know he and her definitely had a very rocky relationship. I mean,
when you love each other,
yeah,
there's dynamics.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where it allows me to witness it from another perspective and go, okay, that's the shit that we're not doing ever. But she was doing fairly good. Like, obviously, my parents moved out of Lompoc when I was in 7th grade to go to Northern California, to Modoc County. Alturas is the name of the city. And their effort was to get clean and to get a better living going on. You know, they were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Ironically, my mom being disabled and my stepdad being unemployed, you
get unemployment and disability checks.
You still kind of had to live paycheck to paycheck. There wasn't much getting ahead. Obviously, the opportunity to buy a property for $1,000 an acre,
different.
And they bought, you can
at
a really,
more,
yes, it was those things that they were allowed them to, expand, and it gave them a different sense of living. But once I moved out, after high school, it was like, all right, fucking, you guys are on your own later. Out of those putos, like, I don't really have a reason to live here. You guys are still on generator power. Hey, we had some solar panels and some batteries now, but shit's still very guerrilla off the grid. As legal as it was the whole time. I mean, it was just like you running 1,000 feet worth of hose to the neighbor's nearest like water outlet, so that before we had a well that got pressed. So the quality of living wasn't necessarily there, and it fucking snows, and you living in a trailer, you can only get away from somebody for so far.
Right.
There's not like the ability to go into another room or it's one fucking room.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey,
you fucking mumble something under your breath. What's that?
How'd you hear that?
Yeah.
These four.
You say something outside. What's that? But so my mom called me one day and she sounded really bad. And she basically said, hey, I've got COVID. I'm at the hospital. And she had COVID first round, but she also had COPD. So it was causing some underlying complications there. But the doctor, after that day, said that her oxygen rate levels were healthy enough that, hey, we're going to send you home, And they sent her home. They had her on an oxygen assistance machine, like an oxygen bottle, with a tube or something like that, I think.
Oxygen tank.
It wasn't like a mask, because my mom was still a fucking very heavy pot smoker. So,
so she had
even if she was gonna be, if my mom was gonna be like the lady with like a trach hole in her neck, she's still gonna smoke weed. Yeah. So like she's sitting there like probably hooked up to this thing. They're having like a barbecue. My stepdad went to go do something. He came like back up, and my mom's oxygen tank had ran out, and she wasn't responsive at that point in time, like wasn't responding to him. So he ran and grabbed another oxygen tank and then administered CPR as best as he could, which I don't even know if he fucking knows how to do CPR. So it's one of those. Would you maybe say that he doesn't? I don't. I mean, obviously, the guy's seen enough Hollywood movies to know, like, probably how to at least blow air down somebody, but I don't think he knows how to do chest compressions. So I doubt that part might not have been administered. And he's a piece of shit. I don't talk to him. It's like, since my mom's died, he hasn't made contact with me in over...
It's been almost 2 years.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So like, it's cool. I can, live and sleep at night, not like worrying about having to talk to him, but it's not one of the conversations that ever even came up. But I just know that by the time that the ambulance got there, obviously they live 10 miles out of town. Ambulance is on one side of town. So we're talking about like a 14-mile one-way trip just for the ambulance to arrive.
Yeah.
After the documented, she hadn't been responsive before that. I don't know if there was a pulse established or anything during the time that the oxygen tank was getting grabbed, but the doctor expected my mom to make a full turnaround. So I want to say that it is alarming, but at the same sense, she was in the hospital for COVID. I think it's a combination of two fucking things. It's just, it's like the wrong thing at the wrong time that happened to be the right timeline and it just happened, or it was neglect and it's really shitty because, you can't just say oops usually to a thing like that.
Probably not the
but
best,
at the end of the day, I know, like, that's why I went into the in-depth part of it. At the end of the day, I know that my mom is not in pain anymore. Like,
I mean, can you imagine
the
pain
amount? Oh, and like, dude, before because I broke my collarbone, right?
Yeah. And
so I got a little dose of like what a somewhat moderate medical procedure is or whatever. Because they had to open me up from, like a 16-inch incision, and they put like a 12-inch plate and all these screws and shit. And I was out for like 6 or 7 hours. But like, dude, my mom had like this plethora of like shit that if it wasn't this that could cause pain, it was definitely this or that. And like, I just, as a kid, like you hear your mom bitch about something enough, you're like, you're fucking crazy. My friends, their parents don't bitch like you.
Also, like my mom, she is crazy. So,
well, my mom was notorious for saying crazy shit. I love her to death. Dyslexic and fucking unhinged, and like not like like unfiltered, unhinged. Like she was pretty PG, but she would say shit that like
out of pocket.
Where did you come up with that? Like, she said something one time and I was like, Mom, you passed your unofficial astronaut training with fucking flying colors. Like you went straight from fucking space cadet to full on astronaut right now. Because she was talking about like, she would see satellites or planes. Oh, look at the satellites. They're watching us wave. Woman, where is your dealer? Because I'm going to go shoot him.
Fuck.
I want my mom back, not this fucking lady over here that's plotting how to drop these motherfucking satellites. They're planes, Mom. FAA is kind of against you shooting them fucking things, even if it's a joke. She was also rad, though. My mom grew up a very Lompoc Valley girl and fucking ran track. And my mom would say the unhinged shit like, she came back to visit Lompoc, the first house that I had when I was with my one that we were talking to about at the funeral. And you were like, I really don't want to talk to her. Yeah. So she goes to pull up and meet us at that first apartment. And she's like, I know right where I'm at. And she does a 180 and she points to this upper apartment, right above there. And I used to party with the black dudes up there. And I'm all, Mom, get the fuck inside.
Get inside.
Like,
there's still black dudes working that live around here.
Can't say in 2020, but you can. Get inside, Colleen. Fuck. And then, she ran fucking track against Palo Alto in like 1978 or 79 in her senior year, and she said that like there was like fucking armed security at a high school track event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was scary. Like they were people like refusing the right for their kids to go because of how rowdy and skippity it was getting over there in fucking Palo Alto and
fucking all those beat poets left their mark.
Fuck.
That's crazy because that was just maybe 10 or 15 years after the beat poets were like in Big Sur, Palo Alto area, really like marking it up in there. I wonder how much of the trickle down from the Bay Area.
Well, and then I hear
affected
Palo
that.
Alto is still fucking like, I hear that's honestly one of the worst Walmarts that you can go into in the nation.
Really?
Because it's fucking scary. Like,
They usually close those now, I heard.
like people will fucking pull guns on people in those Walmart.
That sounds very Walmart, actually.
But like, I don't think they're definitely on law enforcement standard. I shouldn't say that. They're on shitty law enforcement standard. They're definitely going to shoot first and ask questions about why they shot later. But yeah, no.
Yeah,
she
the
went
dead
through
guy's
all
not
that one.
answering any questions.
went-
I got the whole story right here.
She
But
went through all that, and then she took a typing class at Santa Barbara City College, like the epitome of we're doing something, but we're not doing shit. All right. We took typewriting. She worked for Raytheon for a while. Don't know why she didn't work at Raytheon longer, because that sounds kind of like a cool setup.
Mom, I would have loved a
Would've
BMW
loved
in high
these
school.
answers. And I have the idea that my mom might have been in a little bit of a relationship with her boss at Cell Asylum, because she got gifted a company car that was brand new in like 1993.
Ford Taurus, I'm sure.
Mazda fucking Miata, baby.
Oh, those were the fancy
I
ones.
think mom might have showed her tits to this dude. Fucking, there's a couple of home videos where my mom was probably the aunt in that situation too at a couple of family functions. The woman had no shame, extremely hippie. If you fell asleep when you were a kid, you got put in bed butt ass naked. You would fall asleep with your clothes on. You'd wake up naked in your own bed. But it was just you. I woke up one time in the middle of it, and my mom was just boop, shoop, 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 door closes, and then you're like, "What the fuck?"
Trying to see if I can get Faith to do that for me.
So fucking great. I do it to this day. I fucking sleep naked as long as I'm not like cuddling up with like
A homie.
I mean, it's actually a little bit more about it if you're cuddling up with the homie like that. If this is survival, we need to maximize the warmth. We need to without a paddle this
The
shit.
layers stay on then.
Minds telling me no, but my body's definitely telling me yes.
When you were talking about MODOK and the gorilla pot grow operation, that fucking area and without a paddle was floating through my head.
Get over here.
Dude, they're playing an I Hate God song in that movie. I never realized it.
Oh, really?
So
when they're like running it, is that Creed?
Yeah. And then they were like, "Oh, I never thought I'd be happy to hear Creed." And I swear to God, after that, everyone hated Creed for some reason.
Yeah.
But either that song or the next song they're playing is I Hate God.
I like chopping off fish heads.
Oh, fuck.
And they're like feeding them to the dogs and shit.
I can't hear you, Fisky. We got a head. Stupid movie quotes.
I cut it off.
This is actually the worst podcast content is repeating fucking 2000s comedy movie. Sorry, everyone, for indulging myself here.
We're good. It's the first time we've done it. We've remained on track pretty well.
Pretty
here.
well. I mean, I'm just excited to hear about your mom because she's
So, yeah,
one of the
when we
feelies
go-
I knew the least.
So, and then my mom, she had the typing thing. She had to deal with the passing of her sister. For those of you guys that are familiar,
In the 1980s, I believe.
in 1984. I forget the exact month and date, which I probably should know this.
We weren't alive. It's really...
My mom's youngest sister, my Aunt Nell, was on her way back from a concert at the Santa Barbara Bowl with a couple of girlfriends of hers, and they were struck head on by a drunk driver on its way to Santa Barbara that was leaving Lompoc. And it's right there at Salsapuedes Creek. Like right before, if you're heading out towards Halama, it's that last big
Turn.
left that you have there where they just had to like rebuild it all. There's a cross that sits like right there off the side of the northbound lane, and that was the actual spot where the vehicle went off the side after it got hit head on, and they ended up in the creek. And my Uncle Pete, because he was the youngest boy, my grandpa hopped in the truck and grabbed him, and my grandpa made him go down in the creek and help the tow guys hook the car up to get it out. So he also had that, like, this shit's so fresh. I didn't even
get time to process
it.
I had to help
getting
with
the car
tow
out
truck.
right now. The device that ultimately kept my sister intact enough for us to have a burial now, but like the device would only, ultimately helped lead to the, even though it was somebody else's car, like that dude was in the freaking creek completely soaked, helping him hook the car up to get it up the side of the hill.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So that one, and then she was due to marry a man by the name of Tito, and Tito buried my Aunt Nell in her wedding dress. He was a very, very awesome dude. He to this day I don't think he's ever remarried or married. That was his one.
Yeah, his heart.
So she went through a lot of turmoil with that. I know around the passing day and her birthday every year was a big emotional day for my Uncle Pete and my mom. But my mom managed to hold it together. She was a really spiritual person. I think that was one of the demons that she actually had. She cared so much that she let it take so much out of her that she would just be an emotional wreck sometimes, just because everybody was going through something else too, which it allowed her the ability to cry, I guess, without being judged,
Yeah.
Crying's good until you're crying all the time kind of thing. But
You indulge it maybe.
she had the injuries. She was on workman's comp. My mom had to deal with like workman's comp investigators that would like spy on her and like come by the house and try to like take pictures of her, like
Absolutely.
carrying shit that she wasn't supposed to carry to try to prove that her injury was bullshit. And
Meanwhile, she's just troopering on and doing what she has to.
years for her workman's comp case to close. Jesus. My mom called me one day when I was like 23 and she's like, guess what? And I was like, what? And she's like, they finally closed my case. And I was like, I didn't know you were on trial for murder. I was like, I feel like I would have got called in for that. And she's like, no, you dumbass, my workman's comp case. And I was like, whoa. I was like, damn, lady, you know how to fucking get money after years. And she was like, what? And I was like, remember when you got a call when like my brother was like 23 because his brother finally got a job? His dad finally got a job and fucking, it's like started having to pay child support rears. So he was like 23 and you were getting paid for your 23-year-old son's child support.
That's crazy.
I was like, yeah, you remember that one? That's like, obviously the workman's comp thing should have been closed already, but that's like the long-term equivalent. It's just a big chunk all at once though. You're not getting it monthly now.
Yeah.
And so she had that happen right before she passed away. Probably 6-7 months beforehand, she got a $25,000 sum or 40, something like that. After after her attorney and everything got paid off, she ended up taking home like 30 or something like that. Wow. And like the idea was they were finally going to build a house and they were going to fucking do this and they were going to do that. And it just never fucking happened. Everything went too quickly and she wasn't ever able to see that done. But cool shit that my mom got into when she was in Northern California, that woman started fucking fishing all the time. Ooh. Like my mom would like, we're going fishing, get in the fucking car. Not, I've got to load this up and that. No, she was like already in the car. Let's go, Keith. Let's go, Garrett. The dogs are already in here. The poles are loaded. The cooler's already got ice in it. Get in the fucking car. Swear to God, my power bait's getting warm. She got into deer hunting.
No.
Right? So my mom's over there fucking dialing in her fucking 270 fucking Winchester Remington Model 700. Fucking
Classic.
Like a champion. Just fucking nice, flat, fucking hot, just gun. Perfect. She became a friend of the NRA, went to a banquet. Didn't win one gun. She got 2 guns.
2 guns.
Yeah,
That's
dude. We
fucking
moved
sick.
there our first year. I'm in the 7th grade and it's like right around Thanksgiving time. And she just throws this raffle ticket in for this 17 HMR Savage.
That's so cool.
With the thumb hole and the fucking, it's got a BSA Sweet 17 on it. And that fucking thing was sick. I actually dropped a few coyotes with that thing in high school.
I can't believe they can even drop coyotes.
The
17s.
ballistic ground, man, it travels really flat, fastly.
Yeah, shit.
And they fragment like a motherfucker when they when they make an impact at distance.
I know that 22s do. I've been hit in the face by a couple of my own. Like, fucking shooting steel too close.
So she puts in for that one, and then it comes with a BSA optics Sweet 17 scope or something like so. Pretty fucking sweet. Really good gun for shooting squirrels too. Really, really fun.
All I want to do is shoot squirrels and
Ground
coyotes
squirrels
and
at
just
distance with 17 HMRs. Like fucking, it's like the pink mist effect. It's kind of cool. Then, well, I shouldn't say she won 2 guns at a time. She got a free hunter safety like class or something like that. And and a painting of a deer.
That's beautiful.
And she kept the painting of the deer until it fucking like
Fell off.
basically fucking fell apart. And the next thing we went to was it Pheasants Forever or like National Wild Turkey Association or I don't think it was a Rocky Mountain elk thing. Oh, Ducks Unlimited.
Ducks Unlimited.
It was a Ducks Unlimited banquet. There we go.
Wow.
And so we go to Ducks Unlimited because my grandpa was like big and he wasn't my real grandpa. This dude was just a Lompokian that transferred to Northern California who ended up being actually grandparents of these kids that like were my dad's friends' kids, like Mark Crawford. I don't know if you ever grew up like hearing of that name. But they were all in the Hog Busters Club back in the day. They were like the fucking 80s fucking hunting squad.
That's funny.
And so they knew about this place because their buddy went on a trip. So she goes up here, becomes avid hunter. We're at the banquet with this dude. And he's like, hey, I got 3 extra tickets because Jackie can't go. Jackie's his wife. She was feeling under the weather. She puts in her 2 raffle tickets. One for Weatherby SA08 12 gauge. And she also puts one in for fucking Glock model 22. Yeah, Glock model 22 or is it 20?
I think 22 is a 40 cal.
So yeah, it is it's a 22 in a 40 Smith & Wesson.
Right.
And it comes with a concealed carry permit class.
Oh, bitch.
It's a fucking package deal.
Bitch it.
Okay. And wouldn't you know, my mom won both.
Both fucking Weatherby and the Glock.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
So I because I was an avid trap shooter through high school and I still have my shotgun, just the 870 Wingmaster. Really, really basic run of the mill. I fucking love it. But I got to go to the next trap shoot with like the biggest chubby
with
and a
Weatherby.
fucking Weatherby, all fucking polymer, all fucking black.
Was it a
clink, boo, boo, boo. Done.
Semi-autos?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, SA. That's what you said.
So
That's right.
fucking.
I just went to my first 7-stand shoot with my dad last weekend. I've never shot a shotgun before.
Like not like an actual, like you've messed around with them, not actually at a target? Or
No. The first time I shot a shotgun was at the company Christmas party 2 years ago.
Okay.
I didn't shoot it.
The same company you're with
Yes.
now. Okay.
I didn't shoot a shotgun that is, until last weekend.
I was going to say, I think I saw you posting.
Because I posted that. And it was
the story or something like
that
you
was
shooting.
my grandfather's Remington 870
pump
pump action.
I almost brought mine because of that. And because I don't have a case, I didn't want it to fucking get like, I don't know. I didn't really have anything to wrap it up in either.
Fair enough. A lot of people use socks or something.
I don't know if your neighbors are going to be like fucking white boy walking through with the shotgun for.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking. They give me
Especially
enough
a
eyes.
red-haired, blue-eyed one with a mustache. Are you the fucking cops? No.
I get looks like I'm a cop sometimes, and walking around with camo pants isn't helping anyone.
I took a picture with Lompook's Finest at the bar the other day. I was doing karaoke at Jasper's, and I was about to leave, and like Andreessen and another officer walked in, and he's the only one I know by name.
Yeah.
But like, as the other guy walks in, he's like got a mustache, and everybody that I'm standing with, like, hey, fucking this guy, your mustache, and this guy's mustache. And so like Miguel's sitting there, and I'm all, hey man, I'm gonna go walk up and see if he wants to take a selfie. And if he does, I need you to take it. And so I walk up and I was like, hey man, I shake Andreessen's hand and I'm all, hey man, everybody says that we got the same mustache and you could be my dad. Can I take a picture with you? And he's like, sure. Dude was so fucking perfect with it.
Do you have? I have a picture of me and
Andreessen was
a
trying
sheriff
to
deputy.
photobomb it so hard. There's like half of his face in the photo frame, but me and like the other officer, and I don't remember his name, but like we're winning.
We're both looking for the.
He's making. Oh my god. Dude. He was a great.
Dude looks like a tank.
Yeah, no, totally. I thought it was awesome. He was a good sport.
I don't think I've ever seen him. I have. That's so funny you say that.
That was the first time I'd seen him either. I mean, not that I have many encounters, but like you sit out in front of the bar and you smoke a cigarette between playing pool or karaoke, and like you're bound to see one of them roll by.
Right.
They have that tactic. They're like the mafia boss. Hey, yo, kid, come here. Let me ask you a question.
Oh, Jesus.
They're like,
I can't find it
but yeah,
this easily because who the fuck just knows exactly where a photo is? I have 20,000 photos on this stupid phone.
I'm horrible. And then I gotta filter through
idea.
the ones that are work related. Like, how did I wire up this box?
Oh,
or
isn't that?
how did
I need a profile for my own stupidity over here.
There's an app for it, but then I'm like, oh, now I need another fucking app. Like, cool. I sound like my fucking dad, dude. Like, how many apps do I need in this fucking thing?
God damn, fucking.
Batmobile used to drive its fucking self. Now I have to have an app for it to drive itself.
Right.
And an app for it to know that I want it to drive.
Not that it even fucking matters, but I took a picture with this deputy at the Maverick. He was like, real quick. I was like, hey, dude, can I take a picture with you? He's like, yeah, make it quick. We took a selfie and two big fucking broom ass mustaches for the same fucking reason.
Honestly, it's like, it's cool when they catch the vibe and they know exactly why you want to take the picture.
Yeah. Just we're just being buddies. I'm just being cool. I'm not trying to be a piece of shit. I don't fucking.
I had, when I went to the fucking punk festival that you fucking don't
Picnic in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the one the year before you did. It was absolute garbage, and I've never seen so many swastika tattoos in my life. And next to people with anti-fascist swastika or like crossed out swastika patches, drinking with them, and I was just like, you guys are so fucking fake and dumb. And this is all. When I actually went to my first punk festival, I was like, oh, this is stupid, and you're all fucking retards, and you smell bad, and no one has any standards or morals. They don't stick to anything. You're all a bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Yeah, you're right.
I was Mr. Straight Edge forever, and I was just like, this sucks, and this is so stupid.
As long as you're in that kind of environment.
And the only punk bands I wanted to see, we ended up missing because
they were playing at conflicting times.
No, it was fucking TSOL. Open the show, which is heartbreaking because that is the best.
Why would that is not?
Yeah, so we missed True Sounds of Liberty, and then Misfits played, and then it was Jerry only singing, which I've seen multiple times. Yeah. It's nothing great, but it's the Misfits kind of, and everyone was so like, oh, this is gay. This isn't the Misfits, that it ruined me enjoying the only Misfits that were left standing on the stage.
Yeah.
Back
and
then.
that's what it sucks too.
By the time Bad Religion was playing to end the show, I was like, I didn't stay for their set. I wanted to get the fuck out of there.
The year I went was like
2016.
The first, like,
I only know because I was just on your Instagram when you posted it, and I knew that I had gone to the year previous.
Yeah, and the year that I went was really, honestly, like, if I had to say it, that's the reason why I went to Punk in Drublic at the Ventura one the year after that. And then I went with, or not the year after that, but the year after that. I don't know, 2016. I feel like that's no. You're talking about Picnic and Pozo.
That's what I said.
I thought you were talking about Punk in the Park.
Did I say Punk in the Park?
You said Picnic in the Park.
Oh, I said Picnic at Pozo is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, so you got me a little confused there. I thought we were talking about, so the year before, when I went to the one, with Jesse, was like Youth Brigade, Manic Hispanic, Swingin' Utters, and the Descendants.
Yeah, see, that's just not my era at all. Really, even though that's like the right era of punk music. I liked all the shit that just came before that, just older shit. It's like I like the Ramones, I like Black Flag, I like the 1970s.
Yeah,
and the 1980s.
The actual
if I'm listening
movement.
to punk in the 80s, no, I'm listening to death metal now. I'm listening to metal and crossover thrash, and this is what I want to see now. Anything that like is punk that came out after 1985 was not anything I give a rat's ass about.
And like, honestly, it's like for me, it's like a little bit of a line there because you get into some of the Pennywise stuff. I know they would like kind of get into more like 90s with it. But
No,
like,
totally. No, Faith listens to that stuff all the time. It's a bop. I love it. It's so cool to like
you're right. When
not
it
be an
comes to
asshole
that
about it and just
concert
enjoy
that we were
something.
just talking about,
Yeah.
or Youth Brigade and Swing and all that, like, you're right. It wasn't my favorite at all. It was just local, available, priced tickets, and the homie's going to go because at the time I didn't have a driver's license. So it was like, ain't got no wheels, but I'll pay for your ticket if we can travel.
Same.
So
I was such a little man whore.
and Jesse wasn't 21 yet. So he was like the perfect candidate as he couldn't get beer in the venue.
His bumper sticker is great.
Oh, his old one, the I Break for Goth Girls?
Yeah.
He sold the car since, but he like left all the stickers on it.
That's my favorite
that
fucking
one-
bumper
that
sticker
one.
ever.
He put one on the back of my Bug that looks like the Bass Pro Shop logo, but it's like, that's my ass bro, stop.
Oh, you ass bro.
Yeah.
Do you have a hat like that or a shirt like that? Someone was wearing something like that.
No, I've seen something similar, but he had like the sticker and he just like slapped it on the back of my car. And I was like, fucking, I didn't notice until I went to go grab gas because like you have to like gas up right kind of close to there. And I was like, motherfucker. But
I don't believe in bumper stickers on cars.
one concert that
Best one,
really
though.
changed my mind on punk because like I was into it for like the camaraderie side of it at the show in Pozo, but when I went to Punk in the Park in Orange County, it was a 2-day festival with Nadia's the one that took me, and it had like a 12 o'clock to like 3 o'clock unlimited beer tasting wristband with your general admission ticket. And there was like 100 breweries.
Oh, damn.
So you're walking through this like whole fairplex. There's 2 stages that are going on. And you're like getting to sample all these different brews from these different Central Coast, Southern California, like Brewery X was there. The fucking dudes from Ballast Point were there. There's like these breweries that you haven't heard of, but they've got like punk inspired fucking beers.
As they all do.
You know, they've got, you know, these other ones.
If there's
like,
one thing punk has in common with breweries, it's the
yeah.
music for sure.
No,
Like
yes.
for sure, like you're
Yeah.
getting something punk related. There's going to be a Black Flag or a Bad Religion looking label.
There was
or
a couple of
something named after an old song.
Definitely,
It's
and that's
everywhere.
exactly how it was. Or like one of them was like a hop driven engine. It was supposed to be like one of the songs for like Pulley or something.
right. There you
And
go.
like there was also a couple of places from like New York and like throughout the, you know.
So
'cause,
you
it
just
was a
like the
full-on
free
tour.
beer, and that's what changed your mind about it.
It was
Tell me
that part
this.
was cool. It was also the first time I ever did shrooms. So I did.
Oh,
I did.
that's a love affair for life. Then,
Yeah, no, it has become a little bit of one. I did a whole bit of those and went to the casino the other day.
Do you win any money?
Yeah, no, actually, I did. I came out like a solid fucking
$20? Hell yeah!
basically. But I like
You were in the green.
yeah. So the idea that I could
Or in the
sit
black.
there and enjoy playing cards for an X amount of hours and know that I'm not like a problem gambler that like, oh, I'm gonna fucking spend all my money. And
You sound like someone who's trying to convince themselves and other people that they're not an alcoholic. You're like, oh, the fact that I can sit there and enjoy drinking for hours and
well, no, I know. I
I know,
definitely
I'm just
have a
saying the way
tendency
you
to drink a
phrase
little
it.
bit more than I probably should. But when it comes down to that, it's like if I feel like I'm losing money, I don't want to be there anymore. So like, yeah, obviously maybe the first couple of hands, you know, you're not going to necessarily like make anything.
Yeah.
But like as soon as I break even, that's cool. And then, oh, the dealer bust. And then now I won $5 on the house. And now my betting was free. And then boom. And then it's like you get to that point where like, oh, if I feel like I'm going to start losing and I'm dipping back into that money that I didn't want to spend, then I can just go.
beautiful.
Because I'm not over here like I'm going to be the next motherfucker to win a jackpot playing blackjack. It's like, no, it just gives me the ability to smoke indoors
Oh, God bless. I love
and
those
fucking
Indians.
sit at a table and bullshit with people that are probably not from Lompoc.
Change of pace is good.
And even if they are,
What
it's
sh-
like the people that I don't fucking know from Lompoc. So it's like a different conversation, man. It's not like,
fair.
hey, how are you, motherfucker? I see you at the Sham every week.
What changed your mind about punk at this place?
Punk at this place. That it was actually like I got to see the Vandals. I got to see Pennywise. I got to see Voodoo Glow Skulls. I got to see
cool
like
name. I've always liked
these,
that name.
What, Voodoo?
Never listened to them. Don't know what kind of style it is.
It's like a ska punk. They have a lot of trumpet shit in there, and
that makes sense.
it's like a
because I liked Oi, and I never got into like full blown ska.
yeah. And then like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, if you can get past the whole Fat Mike thing being in it.
Oh, I just like that they cover songs.
Yeah,
It's
no,
great.
I got to see them fucking live. That was great. I got to met a couple of fucking really cool other punks from around like different spots, and a couple from around the local area just by peeping on like what they were wearing, you know, like, oh shit,
805
fucking
California Lombok,
motherfucker, you're wearing a Santa Barbara Harley Davidson fucking sweatshirt.
Yeah.
You're definitely within our fucking area.
Yeah, but it's not like there was people wearing Cal Poly shirts there.
No, honestly,
that's kind of my.
There was a couple like you'd be surprised, man. There was like a little bit of everything, and then there's also like the fucking super young punk couples that are like trying to basically fuck each other in the green, and you're like, this is not Woodstock. Take it back to the car.
Why not? Fuck it.
Well, because man, like right next to him, there's a chick trying to give birth. You can't just be doing that.
It's the inception. That's what it happened. It's
and
just
they got
a
funnel
timeline.
cakes, baby, and
Funnel
like you
cakes.
can't buy cigarettes in there, but there's always that one dude selling cigars. And they just fucking smell so fucking great. When
I
you
love cigars.
really
There's a
want-
humidor behind you with a couple cigars in it. Actually,
Nice.
I'm a big fan. I actually have wanted to.
It takes a special like.
kind of asshole
No. I mean, for me, it takes a special like.
occasion.
Yeah.
I don't do it
know
often.
I know people that are like, oh, now there's never a bad time. And I'm like, that's perfect for you.
That is true.
But-
I do
Like
toe
Arnold.
the line of like, I like an occasion.
Yeah.
It can be a holiday. It's a nice weekend. It's an anniversary. It's like my favorite thing was when Sober October's over, cigar and whiskey is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
October 31st midnight or October 30th at midnight or
bloop.
Oh, so nice.
Let it breathe a little.
It's so good.
Oh, yes. Then that same festival, back to what we were talking about there before we got on that tangent. That same festival, the year after or 2 years after, maybe, I'm like with the next gal that I was with, and it shows up on the lineup for Ventura, but as a one-day festival this time. The first day was 2 days. We ended up having to stay in Orange County and like drive back to the venue the second day. But in Ventura,
that's fine.
it was like, hey, it's going to be a one-day shot, the same brewery setup, and like it's a little shittier because it's right there at the fucking fair park.
Yeah,
and it's like
Ventura.
not in the green anymore. Now it's on fucking asphalt.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about punks and asphalt, we like to eat it
Oh yeah, baby.
nonchalantly because people shove us and we lose our balance, but we eat it with our teeth, right? So that fucking place was definitely like, I left there with a fucking skin knee. Fucking chick that I was there with got punched in the back of the head by somebody. These are all things that you know they're going to happen.
But it is still why I do not fucking like festivals or punk shows. Okay,
But the lineup was sick and I
Right.
fucking dug it.
I should not have to go anywhere where my wife is in danger of getting fucking punched.
Well, I mean, we
because
didn't have
someone's
to be where we
too
were
drunk.
standing, but she wanted to go. So like,
Totally fair.
Honey's a
The
big
lack
fan.
of decorum and
like
etiquette that people have at a show because they think that they are more punk than you. They have the right to
Nobody likes a
knock
crowd
into
killer.
you. Exactly. I went to the fucking Meteors.
Oh,
Psychobilly band.
Yeah. No, I at the fucking
Station,
at
whatever.
the,
What's it
the
called?
fucking depot and
Depot
the fucking
in Los
goddamn
Alamos.
motherfuckers throwing bottles.
Were you
I was
there?
there that night.
I didn't see you at all. That's
I was
hilarious.
there. I was fucking standing
lady-
right by the
the
door.
lady that threw the bottle?
Yeah.
I dropped her on her head.
Fuck.
I dropped her on her fucking head.
Yeah, and then her husband was trying to start a fight with like everybody else in the bar and like get everybody to
This is what happened because I lived across the street with Kylie.
Okay,
we
I
went to the show.
remember this.
We went to the show. We were there.
Yeah.
We're seeing Only the Meteors Are Pure Psychobilly playing across the fucking street in little old Los
Yeah,
Alamos.
that-
They're from England.
Yeah.
This doesn't fucking happen,
No,
right?
and they had
So
that
I'm like,
chick
I'm
punk
going.
band that chick front lead fronted punk band that like opened for him.
Oh, they were dope.
Super tall,
Concrete Blonde, not Concrete Blonde, but I know who you're talking about.
Dude,
I know who you're talking about.
She gave me the Amazon fever. She was way too tall for her own good and playing bass.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, for sure.
And singing.
We were there. There, a little circle pit starts. So I'm like, I've been here. I've been there too many times. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So me and Kyle go off to the side here. And then,
minding her own fucking business.
what is this fucking 40-something-year-old bitch with dumb punk bangs?
Yeah.
Goes outside the circle and fucking pushes her and me. And she's been to enough shows where she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is not okay.
This isn't.
I've seen fucking, I don't know what it is, but fucking, I date women who like to fucking beat up other women.
It happens. It's I don't know if it's called being psychosexual or
I don't know either.
Being in love with crazy women or being crazy in love with crazy women.
Or just they're adults and you fuck with them, they fuck with you back.
I like to see the beast get unleashed.
Dude, she was going to come back again, and I can't remember if she pushed me or I pushed her first.
Just a little diversion in your fucking gravity.
Yeah,
right
just
there,
a little.
'cause I already
Just a
know you're
little
an intoxicated, man.
Right, and I was
Yeah,
totally sober there too, because I was like, I'm not getting drunk here. I don't know if it was during Sober October or what, but I
just didn't like really drinking at the depot too much.
Shitty beer, awful beer.
The way that the bar leans you in as you're walking up to it too.
I don't care for it.
Like it was almost like it sloped
not my
down
favorite bar.
towards the well, and you were like, "Why am I getting shoved into you motherfuckers?"
I barely
Hit
move.
fucking checking the bars. You walk up like
I fucking let me finish my story here. I fucking barely push her, and she fucking fall because she
LeBron.
isn't thinking that people are gonna push her back for some reason.
I don't know why they do that.
No idea. She fucking falls and just her head on the fucking linoleum floor.
And the lights went out in Georgia
Oh
for
my
like 2
God,
seconds,
dude. And I was like, I looked at Kylie and I was like, go stand or on the other side of the wall, please. Like, and I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of the band over there with you.
Like a little booth area.
Yeah, a little booth area. This lady came up that was getting fucked with by this punk bitch and came up to Kylie and she was like, I saw that. She was doing that shit to you. I can't fucking believe her. And then they went back into the crowd. This drunk, dumb bitch who just got her fucking shit rocked goes back and does it again and starts pulling her fucking hair.
Oh, yeah.
Runs and starts pulling her hair.
I remember that because I was up until that point. I remember seeing that all happen, and I went to Nadia because she was the one that wanted to go, and I was like, "Dude, you know what? We're gonna go smoke a cigarette right by the door because I want to see this unfold, but I don't." And sure enough, we go outside, light the cigarette because we saw chick get her fucking hair grabbed. We saw everybody rushing in to break it up. One of the bouncers there was telling them all like to shut up, and the fucking act writer, they were going to get kicked out, and they were trying to say something about being in a motorcycle gang or some shit.
So cute.
And that's when I'm sitting there and like, it's like a fucking movie. Look up from lighting my cigarette and I just see the glass flying midair and I just
Beautiful.
And I went, oh fuck. And then it proceeded to keep getting like that much more rowdy again. And then I was just like, and then we go outside and like, it turns out the one drunk chick and her like man, because he had like a broken arm. Yeah. He had like a broken arm and he was like, I'm going to fuck one of these guys up. And I'm like, bro, you're going to fucking broken arm. I don't know how much you're fucking up right now. But hey, the pain meds are working because that's the mentality right there. But like, yeah, they were outside and they were telling us the whole thing and they were like, this bitch is drunk. And I was like, dude, I saw it. Like, you don't need an alibi with me. I'm not the cops. Yeah. I'm just glad nobody got fucking hit with a fucking glass.
That woman has,
the
brain
emergency
damage.
Services didn't have. Oh, definitely from the solid thud.
Sure. Oh my God. There's no fucking way. I've never been so.
I will redact the names of this whole fucking endeavor.
That's fine. Yeah, keep those to yourself.
And I'll talk to you about it afterwards.
Sure.
But I was at a 4th of July party one year, and we all had the great idea of lighting up fireworks and jumping over them as they were lit in the driveway.
As you do.
As you do, because this is how you do it.
This is America, bitch.
And like one of the homies ended up almost blowing his hand up with a fucking, it was supposed to be like a regular like foo fountain, but that thing fucking China bombed his fucking hand.
Oh, shit.
And so he was all flash burned. He was all sketched. He was a little bit iffy. I bunny hopped over like the fucking thing on a bike. And everybody's been getting hammered. It's the 4th of July, baby. And somebody goes to jump over it at the same time as one of the kids goes to jump over it. And the kid hasn't been drinking at all because kids don't fucking drink. And guess who has great fucking balance all the fucking time? Kids.
Children.
Boom. The amount of the hollow thud of day drunk brain rattling against concrete. I fucking got sick.
I'll tell you right now that this person doesn't have a healthy brain in their skull as it is anyways, and then it hits the fucking asphalt and just gets worse.
Ooh. Yeah, and that was like, for me, I was like, all right, so I will jump over fireworks, but I'm going to make sure there's no kids around. And that's what I took away from that situation.
Or,
but yeah, that was
no
one of
matter
those
how old you are,
situations,
you
like,
can
it
still act
reminded-
like a fucking child.
Well, it just
turns
reminded
out.
me of like, it's like that one time you see your buddy eat shit for the first time solid and like knock themselves out.
Oh.
You will always know you will always know by the sound, homie's out.
Yeah, that's a.
It's something about the way your jaw fucking vibrates when it's clapping off of something, like just fast enough to like not break, but like fucking knock you out.
My dad said that made him woozy from the blood because he had. My dad doesn't get like that before. Said he was in the emergency room and was like gonna faint. And
Yeah,
I thought that was crazy.
I was
because
jamming the fuck out of my music right as it happened.
Because
too. I was
I had-
listening to the Cult. I can't listen to that song anymore. It was like Rain by the Cult.
I love that.
And I have to remind myself like, oh, like a little itchy brain. But like I turned the music off instantly. And I was like, oh yeah. No. And then it was just the ominous quiet, like you could just hear like the little sizzle of like the hot firework and just then the pain must have set in because then it was a bunch of, oh, fuck.
Oh my God.
Oh, fuck. And then just everybody like, fuck. And it's so, I love drunk people because drunk people are everybody's paramedic. But you know who should not be anybody's fucking paramedic?
A drunk person.
Yes. Moral support the fuck out of the person that's injured. Don't touch them. Don't think that you know what you're doing. Don't act like you know what you're doing. Just look at them. And don't, by all means, I fucking hate this shit. Don't pull your fucking phone out. I'm helping. No, motherfucker, you're trying to live leak this shit. Get out of here.
Live leak this shit.
Like that was something that happened with the rest in peace, but the gal down the street here that ended up getting crossfire shot.
Yeah.
Somebody ended up walking up with
yep.
it on fucking Snapchat.
Whoa.
Like they didn't know what happened, but the first thing you're gonna do is go to fucking Snapchat.
I mean,
Get the fuck out.
those
You know what
those
kinda
garbage
happened.
people that are stuck on Snapchat recording all those things.
I mean, I Snapchat
are
as much as the next guy, but like if it's something serious,
Do you really? I never see. Are we not?
I don't
on
think
Snapchat?
we're friends on Snap. My snaps are really dumb, but they're like I do them at work.
Bring it on, bitch.
But like, I got so many instances where it's like shit that happens in real time, like out in public. Like there was a car that got T-boned at the intersection of fucking H and Walnut one day.
Yeah.
It was like I walked out of PM's head shop and it was like I went to go get a pack of cigarettes, about to go about my day, and it's like the GTA effect. Somebody got clapped and they're just
Oh shit!
like laying on a horn.
Damn. Also, this podcast is brought to you by PM's Head Shop.
Oh God, my bad.
No. I'm
Really?
It's fun. No, it's just funny that it's been mentioned 2 or 3 times, and I totally said one time I was like, "Hey man, you ever want me to do a read for the podcast?"
Right on.
By all means.
He's like, hey, heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exposure. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
And
I've
then
known Brian since like kindergarten. So I spend all like most of.
And my
my
dad goes in there all the time, which
Yeah.
is hilarious. And then I used to
Brian's
skate
dad
with
also
his
goes in
brother.
there.
Oh, I didn't.
I run into
I
Brian's
don't.
dad like every day that I'm off, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Jimmy, like, what the fuck? And
Small
he's just
world.
like, dude, I remember when you were all in diapers, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Now we're.
I remember when you used to work. Now you're retired.
Whoa.
Like fucking lucky fucker.
Is it? Are you lucky?
He seems like he's doing pretty okay with it.
I actually don't know this person, so good for him. Happy for him.
Yeah. I mean, other than the fact that he has to deal with Brian reorganizing the shop every couple of months. But I don't think that costs him anything. I think he just has to help with like muscle power. So he's like, God damn it. Only got so many more hours on this back. You son of a bitch.
Fucking good for him for having the to even open a smoke shop in a town full of smoke shops, because
I think
the market is flooded.
He picked
good for
a pretty
him.
good spot for it.
Did he? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not in Lompoc in the daytime, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, it's just everybody drives by there no matter what, anyways, to get to the most of the places in Lompoc.
Probably super cool too when you're at the fucking bar, because I know I'll go in there and I'll grab a snack, I'll grab some Zins, I'll grab a couple like
supposedly,
cigars.
and I don't know why I'm plugging this right now, but he's gonna have like fucking hot dogs.
God bless.
Yeah,
bring it on.
Anyways, so GTA effect, walked out of there, about to light up my cigarette, and I just hear this horn blaring, and then Brian's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out too." Look out to the left. Sure enough, there's a fucking car T-boned right here with a fucking another car T-boned right here. And there's like a younger kid like assessing the damage of this T-bone accident. And guess who gets out of the other car with a gun and like all these other people on foot? Yeah, the car that got fucking T-boned. Yeah.
If someone
gets out with a
T-bones
fucking
me.
gun, and they all scatter in different directions,
As you do.
except for the older man that's driving the car, who I assume might be the dad of these youngsters. And like these kids all scatter. And like one of them's got his leg all fucking mangled up, the one with the gun, because he was the one sitting in the side that got fucking smacked the hardest. No. And so the cops come because the kids run and shit, and there's already a report in that there was the accident. And as soon it's one unit that responds, and I don't know, like crime scene procedure or whatever, you have to establish contact before you can pursue, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so as soon as the cop pulls in and leaves his lights on, but goes to get out of the vehicle, like he's in park and he's like radio check. I can see him in his window, like radio check, like check in, you know. Dude gets in the T-bone car, boogies it down Walnut towards like the Boys and Girls Club direction.
What the fuck?
And his car is like bent in a 45-degree angle, like fucking twisted. And so then all these other cop cars show up, fucking like 4 units within another 30 seconds. I don't know. I didn't know there was that many on-duty officers at that point in time, because this is at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
They swarm the area. They're going down this alleyway, that alleyway. I think there was some good Samaritans from a local tow company that may or may not have helped apprehend one of the kids that was hiding in the back of like behind their fence by a trash can.
Shout out.
Fuck yeah, boys. And then like a whole bunch of other investigation went on. But yeah, like, I don't know. I never even heard if they caught that guy, but it was just one of those like, how the fuck did this just happen? This is Grand Theft Auto. That car shouldn't be driving right now.
They based the video game off of stuff that happens in real life.
Dumb
They
shit
didn't
said when I
base
was
real
in
life
elementary
off
school
of
before
GTA.
that Lompoc was in GTA San Andreas. I don't know why I ever believed that, but I was like, fuck yeah. You just think dumb enough, anything's applicable, right?
Yeah, I have a whole podcast about it. Before we wrap up here, is there any more stories you want to share or anything?
Is there anything juicy that you've heard me discuss before that you want me to touch base on that I haven't?
No, you have all these proposed stories that you just were excited to
then
share.
I got out of here, and then it was just like fucking hard for me to start. It's the ADD thing.
You know what?
Well, no, it's
you know
also
what's another
the
thing?
fact that
Listen.
you can't drink up in this bitch.
Yeah, sorry, bitch. Yeah, people are annoying when they drink.
No, have you seen me?
Oh yeah, Sonny, I have seen you. Also, the headphones lock you in, and you can hear yourself, and you go, "I don't want to hear this out of my voice." Me saying, "There's a couple of things. It's totally different when you're like, yeah, we should totally podcast about that, no matter whom you're talking to."
Yeah.
And then you sit there and you go, it's kind of a static place, little sterile place to just start telling pussy stories or something.
I think I'm gonna get like the square, like the little hat microphones that you see all the little fucking TikTok influencer dudes.
Those are
doing.
cool.
And I'm just gonna start doing episodes in the car.
Mobile one.
I'm just gonna start doing them in the car. Like
great.
as soon as that topic comes up when you're on like a long drive, we should podcast, fucking turn these things on and let's just rap.
Right.
Like I'll have to figure out, like, obviously probably can't like roll with the fucking window down or something like that. But
There's growing pains.
But hey,
just had the 5-year anniversary of this podcast last Wednesday.
5 fucking years.
5 years, yeah.
That's substantial. I mean, and you're on episode.
You're 123 now.
123.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking cool. And that's like combined between Matt Talk and Bad Etiquette, or that?
No.
Okay.
No. There's more Matt Brain, and then fucking
Matt Brain. Sorry.
What'd you say?
Matt Talk.
Yeah, same shit. There's Matt Brain, and which fucking who knows if that'll ever come back. But yeah, there's those. There's a couple like holiday episodes. There's a couple bonus episodes. There's a couple car cast episodes.
I was gonna say it'd be cool to have like a group episode.
Yeah, I used to do those for like fight companion styles. I'd go over to my buddy's apartment in San Diego. Those 3 of them lived there, and we'd chit chat. I'd bring my girlfriend. They'd bring their girlfriend sometimes, and like we'd all bullshit, and it was great.
What was it, Sarah and Taves? I loved having the dual dynamic there.
It's so cool
because it was like, wait, hold on. That it's like
how funny.
Holy shit. Which I haven't seen them in a while, and I miss them. And so,
like 2/3 of the way into it, I'm like, I think I just want to have a podcast with Sarah now. Dave, shut up.
Yeah,
Sarah's fantastic.
No idea it was that into underground freaking hip hop. Like,
he
I
totally
thought I was
is.
into it, and
he's
then
sharing
he was
stuff
dropping stuff
about,
that I was just like,
I gotta write this down.
yeah, definitely.
God, wild.
And that's what I like about your podcast too, is that some of the episodes are obviously it's people that I've never met before, and so it's cool to like, it's part of how this person's brain thinks. Or like Palmdale, I've been almost intimidated by him for years because he was just like the older skater, and he had like fucking dreads.
Dude, he had dreads down to his
shit,
knees.
and like I'd go into like Surf Co. and fucking like pick up like parts for my board and shit, and just be like, oh fuck, this dude's so cool. He's still skating.
Yeah.
And like, he's got fucking dreads and shit. And like, everybody gives him taps when he goes to the park. Holy shit.
Everyone loves Palm.
And then I just hear him and he's like, nah, homie, like, I just fucking get on the board, dude. And I fucking go.
So
and I'm just
humble.
like, what the fuck, man? I would not, You'd
never guess, right? It's wild to
like
think
Sarah's enlightened me about stuff from hers. Nate's fucking made my guts hurt.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of fucking laughing I did between Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo.
You know what? He's so mad at me. We were supposed to have
another one,
a group podcast, and he bought a tri-tip for it and everything. We didn't really like confirm. There was just like a verbal confirmation with everyone. No one like, we're all in a group chat together.
Right.
We didn't mention anything about it.
Chats.
And then he's like, I'm in a couple and they're awful. And we go to, come to find out like a couple days later, he's like, I'm at the bar or the brewery, and he's like, oh yeah, that'd be really awful if someone was excited and prepared for all this and got a tri-tip for everyone. And he was so excited. He thought we were going to do it.
Being the OG,
no,
that man can steal somebody's heart like that. He's like looking at you.
Yeah,
he's just a smile.
Although
it's the Navarro boys. Jason did the same thing to me the other day. I walked over there and he was doing some dumb electrical shit. And like he was like, check it out. I didn't turn this power off, but because I'm not grounded, it's like going through me. And I was like, God, how are you fucking single?
How are you alive right now?
How are you fucking single, bud?
What do you mean? That's how he's single.
I'm about to bat for the other team.
How many times can you show a woman like, look, the light bulb turns on,
and I'm just
before they're like,
me and Schaefer are just like, hey, that's fucking cool, dumbass. Can we play pool now?
Fuck.
Same thing a chick probably would have done. At first, I was like, oh, it's neat. He's happy about work related.
And then you find out they're out of material, and that's their go-to for a while. I'm just kidding, Jason.
Oops.
Yeah, Navarro boys are talented. Anything they put their minds to, they crush it at. And sometimes they're like disgustingly naturally talented at a lot of things. And it's like, fuck, you know how hard we got to try as normal people to suck at things as bad as you start, Yeah. Wild.
Mm-hmm. And they just fucking hopped on these things. And
good for them.
Yep.
Happy for them.
We had years and years
honestly,
of broken emotions because we wanted to be so good and cool. I had this one fucking thing. Guess what? I don't even have a skateboard anymore. I bought a BMX bike.
Good for you.
Converted.
Nice. You know what? The Nate's episode is the one that gets mentioned the most.
Mama Soapy.
that.
I feel like everybody wants to go to fucking
Japan,
Okinawa
yeah.
just to fucking the quest. It's like gonna
I remember
be the new skate movie, The Quest for Mama Sophie.
This is the first time I ever heard about it was when I was like 18 years old.
That story?
Yeah.
Oh God.
And I like asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh, dude." And that was one of the best podcasts I've done.
Marine shit ever, though.
So good.
It really is.
Yeah. If anyone's listening, go back and check out, if you haven't heard of the Nate Navarro episode. He's a Lance Corporal Marine fucking
Beer pouring
explosive ordnance disposal man from the infantry or whatever.
And fucking, I don't know. He might have cut his crayon diet back, but he's definitely a fucking gung-ho Marine. See that dude on Marine birthday. Fucking everybody just...
He makes me so happy.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about the Marines till I knew him, and I was like, all right.
You
guys are actually pretty
you
cool.
know what? My perception of how you guys act and like, yeah, you know what? The shoe fucking fits, but you fit it just a little different.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. You wear it with style, son.
Yeah. That, and then he's got that Toyota thing. I think I'm more jealous about his fucking rig.
Yeah, what do you drive? Why don't you get... Oh, I know what you drive because I almost
Ford Edge.
fucking...
Oh yeah, fucking the day that Garrett almost got clapped because you thought that I was the spirit of road rage victims past.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucking
I
hilarious.
don't know, what did I call you like instantly? And you didn't answer, and then you called me back.
No.
Oh, no, you called me.
I called you. I literally
you had to get my number, I think, because I don't know.
No, I had your number. I went
didn't have your number
across.
saved.
I went across the street, and my brother was sitting in the garage, and I was like, I don't know. I think I saw you had white skin at like the very last. Oh no! I went up and I was like, dude, do you know anyone who drives some piece of shit black Ford SUV? And he's like, the only person I can think of is Garrett. And I was like,
Shout out.
okay, that makes sense.
The $200 shit box hoopty.
Right. So I called you, and sure enough, and
Instantly, I was like, I'm so glad you didn't shoot me then.
I was like, do you want to get fucking shot? You fucking... Dude, I was shaking. You were tailgating me, honking, waving at me, what looked like gang signs after I had I didn't cut you off. You were just leaving the sham going super slow, and I was at the stop sign. So I was like, all right, I'm going. Yeah. And then and I was like, oh, great. Someone took it personally that I took their turn.
You didn't say hello.
I don't, like I said, I don't go to the bars in the daytime.
Reason why I can't be a cop. My lawyer didn't say hi. Citation.
And then you just like started tailgating me, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I'm looking at.
I do that to people
like
that piss
my
me off
phone
when they do shit like that. Though.
I was like, listening to a podcast, can't hear anything outside the truck except like honking and waving, and I'm just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" As soon as I enter the city limits,
God, it's me.
I take my gun out, and it's on my person's period. And just kidding, folks. Not really. And it is absolutely like been preparing for this kind of shit to happen every day of my life for years. And then you're just behind me. I literally almost didn't go to my house. I literally almost went around the block or something to go somewhere else. And then I pulled in and saw you drove by. And I was just like, I don't even fucking know the person they drove by. They don't even know I live here. Who the fuck is doing that? I was just like in my car, like I couldn't get my garage opener to work because my hand was shaking so bad because I was about to execute someone via the front window. I'm so glad it was you. I'm so glad it was not someone actually. Yeah. I've never been so upset in so long.
At the same time.
Relieved. Yeah. Absolutely relieved.
That's good.
I don't know if I'll keep the story in there, but we'll definitely.
Hey, that shows fucking, you know what? Judgment. You made the proper judgment. Yeah. That's fucking trigger discipline right there.
Yeah. Oh, I have a sticker for you too.
That is fucking
now that you said that.
Discipline. Like gun control means using both hands.
I wanted to give you the sticker.
Oh. Yeah. Nice. That's perfect. Yeah. I do that with like all my power tools at work.
Isn't it so funny? I won't even flag people with an impact.
You know what I mean? I consistently, I'll even hand people shit like it's live.
So it's not face. Yeah, all the time. I do it to my coworker. I can tell he like is like, why are you handing it to me like this? If we're like on a solar
he doesn't
panel
know, like,
and he's trying to grab the impact.
If there's a bad etiquette to grab a firearm properly, he's got it.
Yeah, okay. Maybe. Yeah. But it's just a drill. So he's like, can you fucking hand it to me?
Also one of those guys that like, I will make sure the shit's cleared and I will frisbee you a fucking pistol.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm like, we're having fun now.
watch out,
See,
folks.
look, it's empty.
Yeah, I became desensitized around firearms at a very young age because I grew up in Redneckville. So everybody was able to just go, oh, we're going to go hunting. And it was cool. Oh, yeah, fuck it. These kids aren't, So like we had firearms experience pre-alcohol.
That's good.
Which is cool. But that makes you a very cocky individual when you have alcohol.
Because you're like, I know how to be safe with
And
guns.
so I had a buddy that went to gunsmithing school in Lassen.
Also, anyone can do that. SDI is everyone can do that. Don't put it on your resume.
What?
Gunsmithing school.
Oh.
They'll send you shit, and it's like the fucking online college that they have. Anyways, keep going.
It's like how you can build your P80 in 10 minutes.
Took me hours with fucking little store-bought Dremels.
Oh God,
embarrassing.
Dude. I used to have
the P80s.
Never had the jig for that. Ever.
Cool.
But yeah, I had a buddy that came back from gunsmithing school at Lassen, and we may or may not have had a couple of beverages one night. And he was trying to play quick draw, and he dry fired a 44 mag in the house to the floor 3 inches away from my foot.
So he didn't dry fire. He ND'd into the floor.
Yeah. No, definitely. But like not nonchalantly discharged. Definitely. Because he didn't even know that was going to happen.
Oops. He went to gunsmithing school, not gun safety school. Got it.
No. And so me being like the cool ass dumbass that I was, I grabbed it from him and then like fucking pow and pulled one into the floor like another 3 inches away from his foot.
Oh my God.
And we buried the gun in
fucking
dude's attic
idiots.
of the house that we were at because it wasn't even ours.
Oh my God. Dude, you know how many times I'm in attics and I'm like, I hope I find a gun here. I want to find a gun here. Can I find a gun here? I hope I find a gun in here. Never. I found a 45, but that's it. A bullet. I mean.
Oh yeah. I found an old fucking double like side by side.
Really? That's cool. I've never
12
shot
gauge. It was cool. It wasn't in firing condition anymore because like the amount of like rust on
over
it.
time. Yeah.
But it was at this fucking like weird, like not a closet, but like a weird like support corner in this barn for this like family that I went through.
I know
like,
exactly what you're saying.
And so it was like there's
storage
a little,
unit
like
have
like
these.
basically the area underneath the fucking.
It was like a pocket.
The steps.
It's a pocket.
But this thing was like up in there, and so like I don't know why
someone just forgot it up
but I like put my hand there and I'm like, what the fuck? And I pulled this thing down and I'm like, it was a fucking shotgun. And like I gave it like to the like people that were like
owned the place.
Yeah, they were like in charge of like an estate sale. I think it was like the family contacted them and they were like, we don't want it, and so I gave it to like my grandpa.
That's cool.
And he hung it up in some back corner of the shop somewhere where it could rust a little bit longer.
Right. I would love to have some out of commission, like unfireable, like guns on the wall for decor.
I did used to have a cool Taurus 22, like a little semi.
I thought you said you had something cool.
Well, the cool part was I got it for free for doing a riff.
Because it's a Taurus.
Yeah, for doing a riff on this dude's house.
You got gypped.
Well, that wasn't the only payment.
Okay, good.
I got
good,
that
good,
and
good,
a Camaro.
Good. Oh, okay.
Like a IROC Camaro.
Finish the story. I'm sure it improves.
The only thing that could have made that better, that like, here's your 22 shitty pistol and here's your 80s car. Where's the bag of blow? And you got an Enterprise. Anyways, I shot it and it took a bullet and it like ejectified itself out of the barrel into the slide. It like
backfired into it?
It like took a 22 round and actually started the process of firing
in battery,
it.
yeah.
And like, I don't know how many rounds were even shot through the thing. It cleaned out well. Like, you could still see some rifling in it, but
just out the top did a external stovepipe.
External stovepipe, and then rendered itself useless.
Oh.
Because it completely, I mean, it came out and it shot into the slide. So no exit wound, but like a big old bulge at the end of the slide, and the barrel like peeled.
Of
you
course.
can see it like
Splints.
the damage. Yeah. And
hence my prejudice when you said you got a Taurus, and I said,
I
I
the
thought you
only
got something
Taurus
cool.
is like the ones that we can't get in California,
Like the Taurus Judge, I think they call it. Yeah,
I'd love to be able to follow up 357 rounds with 410s any day.
they fit, don't they? They fit. They fit. I never even.
For when you want to fuck somebody up and shoot the bird next to him at the same time, baby. Yo.
All right, dude.
All right. Until next time.
Welcome back anytime. We can do this again. And thank you for finally. You've asked more than anyone.
Yeah, no. I'm like that ex-girlfriend.
Sorry
like,
it took
when
so
am I
long.
going to get it again? But I never even had it the first time.
I've never had an ex. I don't know what this says about me, but they don't call back. I mean,
I think they
zero
would like
contact
to,
with any of
but
them.
It's the amount of emotional disconnection that they've probably achieved at this point. And that they don't want to go back.
Good for them.
Yeah. That's good for me too.
Congratulations.
Thanks for having me on, bro.
Garrett, thank you.